CBS News, New York.
The National Center for Civil and Human Rights in Atlanta is expanding. Unlike the Smithsonian, the center is privately funded and beyond the immediate reach of Trump administration efforts to control what Americans learn about their history. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Using that green color. 105 FM.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, Chris and Colin. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, News Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, effective, and engaging content, and listening to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM from Sunday Guam. Enjoy the show. Hi, today, Guam, and thanks so much for tuning in again. Welcome back from your programming. We have your Brightside coming up here in just a bit, but of course we want to thank some amazing people for making this happen. Big thank you to our friends at Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and great value happening here. Thank you to our friends at Juice Here. We start with you. Thank you to our friends at Coachful Guam. Learn, code, and lead with Island's first coding bootcamp. Your future in touch begins with us at Coachful Guam. We also want to thank our friends over there at Micro Pack. You can check them out in Charlotte, San Antonio, and Toledo, or the Micro Mall. They got 2 locations to serve you there. We want to thank our friends over there at Subway. You got to refresh to be fresh. Be who you order online. Or I'm sorry, not order online, but be who you order ahead of time, right? You can use any of their booths, actually, and I just want to say, you can order ahead of time through the app, you can order at the kiosk, or you can do it old-fashioned, really, whatever you like. And they have those fall flavors available, so they have the pumpkin and cream pie, they have the pumpkin spice drink, as well as the pumpkin and coffee drink for you. It's all available over there at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Here we go. We're just going all over the place here. Big shout to our friends over there at Exceptional Security. You can go ahead and check them out. Our friends at Exceptional Security Solutions, the Guam Senior Provider of Exceptional Security Services, delivering operational excellence and protective services across commercial, industrial, and residential sectors. Our friends at Sherwin Williams Paint, the wet season is on its way, and your roof needs to be ready, so don't wait for the blazing sun or pounding rain. Get ahead with weather. Ready coatings, be smart, be prepared. And I'm Sherwin Williams, and of course, our friends at Subway. You can order online at subwaypacific.com and get any of their 19 Subway food sandwiches. It's available for you at Subway. You got to refresh to be fresh. Once again, welcome here. We are getting started on the Brightside here on Wave 105.1 FM. Here's our number, 671-922-1051 or 1052. We're online at wave105.com as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. Again, thanks for hanging out. Later on in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to learn more about this event. Mila Safen Chester, yeah? And so, Reese was telling me that this is a partnership with the University of Guam, right? And Hyatt Regency Guam? Yeah, well, it's actually, collaboration with UOG Center for Island Sustainability and the Sea Grant, in collaboration with the Micronesian Stocks Association, and everyone down there. I mean, this is something that's already been kind of happening, right? But we're so happy that we're able to collab with them in this way. And, we're bringing basically sustainability to it. I mean, I know these chefs are no stranger to that. I know that they try to use all the ingredients. Yeah. In fact, Chef Marcos, after him, he's over there at the Hyatt, he always tells us at any conference that we go to there, that just get what you're going to eat. Don't waste your food. Mm-hmm. Get what you're going to eat, and if you want more, come back. Yeah. But at least in a certain moment, So But I'm really excited for what's coming in Taco.
Yeah, the biggest culinary event in Guam, Milan Francesca, will showcase the work of local chefs working with local ingredients grown by local farmers. When I was looking at the list, right, I'm like, it sounds like the Iron Chef. When they have special ingredients,
Right.
when they're going to break down the special ingredients,
Yeah.
they're like, pork! I think that Bruce Lee's nephew or something is the most.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Right. And today's secret ingredient. And then he does his little like karate chop. And then goes,
I like it so like
sweet bread! I was like, ooh, I like sweet bread. And then I found out what sweet bread really is. And like, yeah, intestines?
It's not a
Yeah, so they make intestine steak. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if they're going to do chicken gizzard. But no, I was like, ooh, because I actually like gizzard.
They're nice fried up. So in the skillet, kind of like roasted, but
and even telegram.
Yeah.
I was looking, okay, so you've got tomorrow lemon.
Yeah.
Lemon tomorrow. You got nizuk, which is coconut. You've got doni, pepper, lemon, breadfruit, agat, that's the cooking banana, and then manzanita, a local cherry. I think that's the hardest one. Whoever got that, that's gonna like make you or break you.
Yeah.
Because I think it's difficult, but if you can pull that off, like how do you make local cherry like super special? Like it's just a salad.
That's so
I'm just like, I had some cherries in my dessert, and I had some cherries in my salad every now and then. But
I don't even get that.
yes, the bitterness. Yeah. So we'll see what they do. Because like I said, I mean, this local cherry, if you come up with something extravagant, I think that's the toughest ingredient here.
Yeah, well, I have no doubt in these chefs. I mean, like I said, this is not the first Milo Trip and Chester that's been going on.
Okay.
And, these chefs are respected in their areas, whether it's a restaurant that they own or work at, or a hotel, or a, five-star dining. So I definitely think, and it's crazy because when I think of these chefs, I more so now think of them like as if I was watching, like, what's that, the Iron Chef, or, what is the other one, the Mystery Box one?
Oh, yeah.
Chalk, you know what I mean? When I think about it, I'm like, man, these chefs are doing exactly that, and they're right here in our backyard.
I want them to do Is It Cake?
That would be so funny stuff.
I want, like if you get the bakers from UCC, from ProStart,
that'd be fun.
Do a cake contest. Have you watched Is It Cake?
It was ridiculous. The girl, I think in the interview, I forget the hostess name, but she literally sat on a cake chair. She sat down and she goes, and they all looked at her and laughed and said, wait a minute. This is cake. But the chair looks so good. That's crazy.
I like Is It Cake better than Nailed It. Nailed It is fine, but Is It Cake, I don't know. It is a fun competition. And because you're part of it. You're like, when you're watching Is It Cake, you're part of the competition. You're also trying to guess. Not only are you trying to guess if it's cake or if it's an actual statue or a baseball glove or an ornament or anything, or a plant, a boxing glove, I remember, a bag of what I think somebody even did like a clock, and then what they do in Is It Cake, they have like this whole room of all kinds of different things, and then people are trying to guess which one is fake and which one is real. And so as somebody that's watching, you're engaged the entire time. And so when I was thinking of like what else can these chefs do, I think it'd be real fun to see some of the bakers that we have here on island, because we got some really good bakers. My goodness, when you see how many cakes they're making for birthday parties, using like the fondant. I'm not necessarily a fan of fondant, to be honest. The, the taste of it is way too sugary, but with when you use it, you can create full-on characters, life-size characters too. And so I know we have some really good bakers at the hotel, and then just bakers at home that are, baking cakes, wedding cakes, birthday cakes, all kinds of cakes, right? Eight-tier cakes, to see a competition like that here in Guam, I think would be a whole lot of fun. But yeah, so this one, Mala and Chesta, is happening on Thursday, so in just a couple days. And so, again, each team is putting together, or is going to be working with a specific ingredient grown by local farmers. The MCA president, once again, that is let me see here, the Micronesian Chefs Association president, Chef Peter Duenas, said that the goal of the event is always to bring awareness to the local culinary talent and the amazing agriculture producers in Guam. This is what Mala and Chesta is all about, the community coming together from the farm to the table and showcasing the cuisine our island can produce every step of the way. According to Duenas, the teams will all prepare 3 courses, including a special drink that will feature the special ingredient assigned to them. This year's slate of competitors is lined with experienced masters and budding up-and-comers from some of the most lauded establishments on the island. So you've got Busatani, you've got Mescla, you've got Hyatt Regency Guam, you've got Sabaki Tower, GCC, and Primo Pizzicato. Those are the teams, and each team has their own ingredient that they're going to be working out with. I want to find out if I know where Simon Sanchez will be.
Sorry, Polly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't really feel reading of it. Okay. Anyway, so shout out to our caller. Remember yesterday we were having a conversation with the kids from JFK and how they're able to change their class schedule. Correct. So I had a caller just earlier, and they wanted to ask, because yesterday we were also talking about double sessioning, how by next year is it that Simon Sanchez won't be at JFK and they'll be double sessioning somewhere else?
Over at FPLG.
Oh, okay.
So the goal is FPLG is going to be completed by March.
I understand. Okay. But actually, also wanted to clarify because they said, I'm not too sure, I'm sorry, I'm not sure they said their son, but basically the student in their household was telling them that we're going to be double testing with children. And they had no idea. So they don't, they just want to, so you have any news about that? But as far as they know.
So I need to pass that on to the PIO over at UAE. So what do I ask?
I just wanted to
clarify whether they're going to be double sessioning?
Correct.
Because their son or daughter goes to Simon Sanchez and came home and told them next year they're going to double session with TJ.
Yeah, they'll be double session. Because they was listening yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's new to me because the last town hall meeting they were talking about FPLG is going to be complete by March. That's the goal, right? And so, you only have a couple more months. But hopefully in March, what happens around March? Easter break? So, in essence, they can go from JFK, take the break, and then go over. But the conversations that I have, I'm not holding my breath, right? And so, it's more realistic that they'll start in the new school year. So, and I have not heard even. No one told me season is double sessioning. So I'm going to go to Dan and Michael.
He just wanted to clarify that. It was so funny because he goes, sometimes the kids tell you, but I don't really know, and they don't have any letters or anything. And I'm like, okay, no problem. We got you. That's what we're here. So thanks so much for calling. I'm sorry we couldn't get to line. I'm actually so sick.
Yeah, no worries. If they would, I know some people are nervous, but feel free to ask the question on air so they can actually hear your concern, right? For those that are listening. And sometimes people will say, Was it still recorded? What did they say? And I'll give them the link.
Yeah, absolutely. On YouTube.
Okay. So let's see. Parents said their child came home. We're down in here. We'll find out. I just sent it. Okay, what else we got? Oh, it's actually going to be a Santana that's coming in.
You know what? He's going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
He's a doctor in the He's cooking it up, fixing it up, and he's packing it up.
And then in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to get Regina Scoli, the president of the Guam Visitors Bureau, right? Our very own. So, some places, I think it's New York, that has AOC. So Guam has RBA, Regina Scoli. So we have our very own AOC and it's RBA.
Yeah.
And so she'll be in at 5 to discuss once again the Tourism Economic Impact Report. Right, and so I was looking at that as well. But today is supposed to be the meeting with the legislature, with the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the attorney general, right? And so we heard Senator Jesse Lujan last week, I think it was Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, he directly asked the AG, would you be willing to sit down, to be at the table with the governor and the lieutenant governor to discuss the governor's proposed emergency health powers legislation, right? And then we also saw the letter that said that he's proposing that they have this meeting on Tuesday, September 16th at 3 p.m., so in 40 minutes. Spoiler alert, it has been postponed. But what I want to do is, we'll just go back to that, yeah? So I sent you the link, and we'll just play when Senator Jesse Lujan asked the AG if he'd be willing to have that meeting with the governor and the lieutenant governor.
The coordinator the legislature. If I set up a meeting with all my colleagues, and I know my 15 of my colleagues would be willing to do this as well, and request the governor's presence, is that something that you'd be interested in participating in? Absolutely. We would work to make it happen for our government, for our people. We have smart lawyers in our office. We've got Mr. Miller and several others that have dealt with this situation for 3 years now. And part of that will not just be limited to, of course, the hospital situation, the drug situation, we have infrastructure, school situation, and things of that nature that the president, we all need to solve. But it won't be able to, we can't do this in silos. We all have to sit down, and so, again, we'll set it up, and we'll invite, again, all the parties to the event. Thank you very much for that. And also,
all right, so it's pretty short and sweet, right? So, there's something else that I wanted to also play too, and it's not necessarily related to the meeting, but Senator Jesse Lujan does redirect and ask he asked Dr. Ho Wing about public-private partnership, and at first, let me just see if I can break this down first. Okay. Before we get to that, right, so let me just kind of walk us through that whole conversation. I just want to reiterate some points and again to solidify that, get this on the record. If I set up a meeting with all my colleagues, and I know all 15 of my colleagues will be willing to do this as well, and request the governor's presence, is that something that you'd be interested in participating in? And then the AG says, absolutely. We would work to make it happen for our government, for our people. We have smart lawyers in our office. We've got Mr. Miller and several others that have dealt with this situation for 3 years now. And so he says, the topic matter will not just be limited to, of course, the hospital situation. So the AG says, we have a drug situation. No, Lujan just said, we have a drug situation. We have our infrastructure, school situation. Things of that nature that we all need to solve. We can't do this in silos. We all have to sit down together. So again, we'll set it up and we'll invite all the parties. And so he talks about, he shares his concerns about GMH's struggles to collect unpaid bills. And so he asked the AG. He also mentioned about collections at GMH. Would you be able to provide GMH support with their collections? I know that they have their own lawyers. They definitely do that, and now they're looking at an RFP for collections. But can the AG's office, would they be able to help? And so the AG says, right now our pecking order in terms of priorities is because of the recent problem that we've had since starting in 2020, it's exacerbated itself. Guam doesn't have enough lawyers. That's as simple as that. So to put lawyers involved in collection matters when we have meth addicts out there killing our population, when we've got a hospital falling apart, it's part of a solution. But with respect to what you're saying as well, we'll still make ourselves available. He says they have 2 lawyers up there right now. Put them on collecting the bills, have them file their standard collection actions, small claims court, that sort of thing. That's how it's been structured. But I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that we wouldn't help. I am saying that I see the solution is stopping the hospital from burning down first. I think that's part of that conversation when we sit down because it's part of a holistic problem that we're looking at. So I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, we would help. And so we would. So Lujan changes the subject to malpractice liability, right? And so obviously Dr. Wynn's standing right there. So Dr. Wynn would know more than the AG, but he does give his opinion on it. He says, the Public Health Board of Licensure over there for the doctors, with their reliability for the government, I don't really see as much of a liability for the government as it is for individuals coming in and being sued individually, doctors for committing malpractice, allegedly things like that. In the hospital, we've got to be careful because there are government claims that are being filed against doctors. So since the hospital provides the services, they as the employer of the doctor would have liability. That's what's happening almost every day in GMH. The doctors are being sued in the hospital. The government of Guam is being sued. So there are several open lawsuits in that regard. So Dr. Wynn talks about how there are some struggles to get malpractice insurance. He says the international medical graduate, they typically, what I see in the state when I do my research, it's very hard for them to obtain any malpractice insurance. Insurance does not insure them regardless of their practice. And while 40 states have regulations, what he says, international medical graduate, Guam's Bill 1 gives too much unilateral power to the governor. From what I understand of the bill, and when they were discussing Bill 1, is that the governor will make that decision. And I think that I'm not sure if the Guam Medical Board has much say. I know I discussed a little bit with them, and they wouldn't advise this power at all to bring in international medical graduates under one person. And then that's when Senator Jeff Lujan transitions and talks about public-private partnership. And you'll hear it. I think we're going to start hearing it even more. PPPs, or the 3 Ps. Senator Charlie has a bill. You saw Senator Mike Cruz bring it up too in his op-ed. The governor has her mindset on it too. And so he asked Dr. Wynn, would you endorse a PPP to run the government hospital, or to run the government hospital? And so this is what Dr. Wynn says. He's saying the real issue is there are too many employees at GMH. And so we'll just play that because that's they went from talking about a meeting that the AG says that he'd be more than willing to be a part of, was supposed to happen in 30 minutes from now, to malpractice, insurance, to PPP. Oh, yeah, no worries.
Would you endorse a PPP to run the government hospital? It's very hard from here to time. I know there's a lot of politics and GMH is going up and down for a lot of people, from what we see, the candidates is GMC and GMH is the same size hospital, about 115 ICU beds. In order for you to run effectively and really, I'm not saying 100% will shut down the businesses, GMH, but the manpower should be the same. I think the ratio is 2 to 4. Staff patients, not counting the clinical staff, and that's a national average of what the staff ratio is. But the GMH, when double with the staff, you will make a lot of money on manpower. Is that efficient? No, I don't think it's efficient. So in order for the PPP to work, the private entities here need to kind of reassess the manpower GMH and kind of cut down really good the staff and the excess manpower that need to be there. Thank you, Dr. Wayne. Thank you, very much. Thank you, Mr. Here's Martin.
All right, so there you go. So short and sweet too with Dr. Wynn, where he's saying there's almost double the staff when you compare GMH and GRMC. He says it's very hard, and he calls out the politics, and he says GMH, we call it a dumping ground for a lot of people. In order for you to run efficiently, and really I'm not sure it's going to be 100%, will cut down the deficits, GMH. However, the manpower should be the same. There's a ratio of 2 to 4 staff per patient, not counting the clinical staff. That's a national average for what the staff ratio is. But with GMH, when it's almost double the staff, you're going to waste a lot of money on manpower. Is that efficient? No, I don't think it's efficient. And so, I don't know if that's going to also be part of the conversation. I saw a couple releases come in, but one from Senator Jesse Lujan and one from Senator Sabrina Salas-Manzanano. That was, I wasn't expecting to go to this meeting. Obviously, it's at 3 p.m. I don't know if media is invited. I don't think it's a public meeting, but still, it was. I was feeling optimistic too. I mean, because clearly, it is unfortunate when you have your leaders not aligning. There are so many things to discuss for the people of Guam to better their quality of life, and we need to all be productive, and we all need to be working towards progress. And so when I saw this letter on September 12th, and also hearing what Senator Jesse Lujan said, I was feeling optimistic. And so if you go back to that September 12th letter, it says that the legislature, the governor, the lieutenant governor, the AG, are all going to sit down, or he proposes that they sit down to discuss the governor's proposed emergency health powers legislation. Those are the two bills that we sent down. The meeting was proposed for today at 3 p.m. And so back on September 12th, it says, during the legislative hearing, AG Moreland underscored the risk of losing more than $100 million and federal sources as Guam's leaders failed to find common ground. In response, Senator Lujan asked the AG if he would join such a meeting should one be convened. More than affirmed he would. He said now is not the time for partisanship or politics. Now is the time for honest conversation and decisive action. The people of Guam deserve leaders who can put aside their differences, come together to ensure that our hospital is not only preserved but strengthened. It's about the health and welfare of every family on our island. And we've had callers. Vince calls in, and he's part of the healthcare system. You know, he's at the front line. And this meeting couldn't have come any sooner. I mean, I think it should have came sooner. But here we are on Tuesday, and this meeting should have happened at 3 p.m. And we're hearing that it's not happening. The majority leader emphasized that the meeting's purpose will be to chart a collaborative path forward, safeguard critical federal funding, and ensure GMH can continue to provide essential care for the people of Guam. My call is simple. Let us sit down, face one another, and do the work our people expect of us. We may not agree on everything, but we cannot afford inaction. The stakes are too high, and the lives of our people are too important. Okay, so today, I asked to the governor's office, waiting. Apparently, we are going to get a statement, issuing a statement shortly, is what I got from the office of the governor. Didn't say if it was postponed or happening or not. But I did get confirmation from Senator Jesse Lujan that it has been postponed. So today, this letter states, Majority Leader Senator Jesse Lujan announced that the meeting originally proposed for today to address the future of GMH and the governor's emergency health powers has been postponed until further notice, not giving us a date of when we're going to sit down and do this. The decision follows a series of productive conversations with the governor, her senior staff, and the AG. He said, we've had encouraging discussions with both the governor's team and the AG. And so my question is, together? In the same room? Conference call? There's a shared understanding that the $104 million of federal resources must be put to work for the people of Guam. And that begins with strategic investment in utility upgrades for Manila, one of our island's fastest growing communities. Is that what the AG? Because when I read that paragraph, I never heard the AG saying, I heard those that were overseeing the infrastructure, the power and the water, they're scared to send them any contract because they're afraid to be sued. Has that changed? Again, the sentence is, or the quote is, there's a shared understanding that $104 million in federal resources must be put to work for the people of Guam, and that begins with strategic investment in utility upgrades for Manila, one of our island's fastest growing communities. And so one of the outstanding issues being worked through is for the Governor's Council to provide the legal framework that would allow the governor to meet directly with members of the legislature and the AG to reach agreement on the best path forward. I didn't realize that there is a legal framework. They can't just show up at Kings or where do they have private rooms? Like, there's plenty of restaurants where they have, like, private rooms. It doesn't have to be over at the governor's chamber. They can just be like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going into BG. When they all walk into, like, one of those private rooms. Like, hey, what a coincidence. You're here and I'm here. And look, all 15 senators are here. I guess we'll sit down and eat together. So I didn't know that was the whole thing. That there needs to be some kind of legal framework that would allow the governor to meet directly with members of the legislature and the AG. Senator Lujan emphasizes that the governor's legal counsel is currently preparing documents requested during last week's legislative hearings. These materials are expected to clarify key legal and procedural questions surrounding the allegation of these precious federal funds. He says, I remain confident that we are paving a responsible path forward, one rooted in collaboration, transparency, and urgency. If a meeting is postponed for now, our commitment to continue dialogue remains firm. The health and welfare of our people demand nothing less. Yeah. He thanks sincerely the governor, the AG, for their cooperation and engagement. He said their willingness to engage in good faith discussions is a testament to the kind of leadership our island needs. I look forward to further productive conversations as we work together to deliver results for the people of Guam. He is the majority leader. And so he reaffirms his call for unity in action, noting that the postponement is not a retreat, but a recalibration to ensure all parties are equipped with the necessary legal and policy clarity to move forward. And so he will announce a new meeting date once the relevant legal documents have been issued and reviewed. But this part gets me here, right? Because there is a resolution, and I swear Senator Jesse Hahn is on it. I'll have to double check. But takes that $104 million ARPA monies and reallocates it back to the current hospital, not in Manila. So, and in the same paragraph, it says the governor's team and the attorney general, period, or comma. And then it says there is a shared understanding that this money, $104 million, must be put to work for the people of Guam, and that begins with strategic investment in utility upgrades for Manila, one of our island's fastest growing communities. And that's in bold letters, too. 2:39 in the afternoon, we will take a break. Wave 105.
Alrighty, once again, you're tuned to the Brightside. Be sure to continue to keep it locked here as we continue touching on some of the topics that are hot and getting everyone busier this day. So continue to keep it locked here on the other side. We return to the Brightside.
Dr. Dagon, Logan Island here from the National Weather Service and with the Guam Power Authority. National preparedness is here, and preparedness starts at home. Also prepare to feed hot water, food, flashlights, first aid, down, some snacks for the kids. Great. Now lend a hand, check in with a neighbor, help out what I'm doing, and make sure your kid is ready too. Preparedness is for the family and it starts at home. NWF and GPS, very confident. For more tips, visit ghs.guam.gov and follow GPS on Facebook and on Instagram.
Top of day, Wave 105 FM, we want to talk. We want to talk about the things that are important to our island, and our community, and we want to talk to you. If you want to join us in this function, you want to chime in, you want to come in, we welcome all places here, on class, on the family, or workshop. It's 719-221-151. If that line is open, then call us at 922-1052. This is Talk for Everyone. Thanks for listening to Wave 105 FM, Talk for Life. Okay, John, engage in the conversation, make the suggestions,
was down and Miss Patty. You want to hear concerning? Well, come on. Tune in every Wednesday for our new time. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Wave 105.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Brightside Media, or any of our programs. As we strive to provide quality and accurate and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in our conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, Brightside Guam. Continue the show.
Alright, welcome back. Let's see here. Wave 105, our number is 671-922-1051 or 1052. Being that my stuff is Tuesday, September 16th. So another release came out saying today, this one from Senator Bree, and it is about a joint oversight hearing that's going to be held at GMH. And so the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs and the Committee on Finance and Government Operations are going to be holding a joint on-site oversight hearing at GMH. So while the governor considers what action to take on Bill 1, right, this is the $40 million that they have sent back to the governor for her to sign, right, and the big amendment was never mind giving the $40 million to DOA, and then DOA will piecemeal it, in increments to GMH. The amendment right off the bat when they went to introduce amendments was Senator Vince Borja, who had then said, let's just do what Senator Jesse Hahn was talking about. The fastest way from point A to point B is a straight line, so let's give it directly to GMH. So the legislature is moving forward with its efforts to address the hospital's most urgent needs while it waits to see how the governor is going to now. I mean, it's her bill, but maybe she doesn't like the amendment. And so we don't know yet if she hasn't signed it into law yet. So while they're waiting, they've scheduled for a public hearing that would provide millions of dollars for critical capital improvement projects at GMH. The purpose of the oversight is to hear directly from the hospital leaders and staff on the following: so vendor payments, capital improvement projects such as electrical panels, HVAC, and other infrastructure, IT system upgrades, medical supplies and equipment, cost containment initiatives, and safety protocols. The chairperson of the Committee on Health and Veterans Affairs is Senator Bree. She said, I've said it many times before, while I absolutely support building a new hospital, we cannot ignore the one we have today. GMH is our only public hospital, and it needs help now. The bills that are awaiting hearing would provide the funding needed to strengthen GMH, including Bills 186 and 187, and we'll look for those, which together would direct another $40 million to the hospital. And so 40 and 40 is $80 million now all of a sudden, right? I mean, if the governor passes those bills or signs the bill, right, then there's 40. And then these two bills on top of that would give another 40. Or is he going to, if the governor signs the law, then that's it. And then he just won't move forward with these two bills. This oversight allows us to meet GMH on their turf. As the husband of a critical care nurse, this is Senator Chris Joyner talking now. I've seen firsthand the struggles and sacrifices of our hospital staff. Holding this hearing on site will give our colleagues a chance to see and hear for themselves what GMH employees go through every single day. It's not just numbers on paper, it's real people working under real pressure. This visit will help us better understand the funding GMH truly needs. And I swear GMHA was asking to have the last public hearing at GMH and it ended up being at the Guam legislature, right at Guam Congress building. And so now, seeing this, that they have decided to go over and have it on site. So it is happening next Thursday at 9:30 a.m. at the GMH Education Classroom, which is located on the fourth floor. So if you go back to the bills that Steve mentioned, right, 86 and 87, so we'll just break down 86 real quick. It takes money that was collected for GMH's pharmaceutical fund. However, it was never allocated and then send it directly to GMHA. This will help pay off debts and keep operations stable. And so it talks about GMH's role, critical health and well-being of Guam's people, and it needs consistent funding for pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and equipment. The pharmaceutical fund was created specifically for GMH. It receives 6.19% of all BPT collected in Guam, and then this money can only be used for GMH's pharmaceuticals, drugs, medical supplies, equipment, blood, and medicines, not general expenses. And so it talks about the financial problem, $26.3 million that they owe to the vendors, which they're saying that that's what they're going to do with the $40 million that the governor sent down. Give $40 million to GMH, but DOA is going to have it and then piecemeal it over to GMHA, right? They were saying they were going to carve out $26 million, just like in this bill, for vendor payments. And so it gives you unallocated money from past years. It goes as far back as 2019, and then it comes up to a total when you go from 2019 to 2023, $8.1 million. These funds are audited but unallocated, and so they're confirmed to exist, but they were never actually given to GMH. And so now you can use them to reduce debts, repair strained relationships with your vendors, and stabilize GMH's finances. And so you can use this for the vendor debts, utility providers, and other critical service providers. The funds will not lapse at the end of the fiscal year. I swear I read somewhere where it says you cannot use them to pay for, I think that's Bill 187 probably then. So Bill 187, I think it explicitly says you're not going to be able to use this for salaries. So this one talks about $32 million by refunding refinancing bonds. And when I hear that $32 million, Senator Guam said that when they were discussing the budget bill. And he basically said, we have $32 million that we can give right now to GMH. And so when you go back to what he said, and his office even sent his statement, what he said on the floor, right? So at the tail end, he says, the governor's transmittal is not a budget, it's a power grab. It's an attempt to strip this body of its constitutional role and rewrite laws without scrutiny. I want to work in earnest, and so I am saying some of the new amendments are great. Some of the new funding you identified after refunding of BPP bonds, which closed during one of our midnight sessions, have created new savings for this government that we did not have when we deliberated the budget. And he even says the number, it was $32 million. And so I see that in this bill, $32 million by refunding, refinancing bonds. He says, I am already working with my colleagues to immediately send these savings to GMH, to DOE, or agencies that needed to better serve the public. I'm almost certain that that's what he's talking about in this bill, 187. He's also a co-sponsor to the bill, so it all makes sense. Laws allow these savings to be used for capital improvements related to GMH, and they talk about the infrastructure issues that they're facing, And then, in this Bill 187, it appropriates, it breaks down the $32 million. And so it says $400,000 to the Z-wing demolition, retrofit, and parking expansion. $815,000 to expand hospital parking, the hospital parking center. $300,000 to demolish and renovate the MRI building. $5.1 million to replace the electrical panels and build an emergency generator access road. $660,000 to upgrade fire protection and alarm systems. $200,000 to install emergency oxygen tank connections. $500,000 to upgrade the IT server room. $250,000 for the emergency power supply project for disaster preparedness. $700,000 to replace and repair elevators. $14.5 million to install an electric health record system. $5 million to improve the IT infrastructure. $500,000 to cover HVAC. $300,000 to install and replace fan coil units. And $2.6 million to purchase life-saving supplies and materials. Yep, there it is. Restrictions cannot be used for personnel or hiring. And so this money that they're going to allocate, $32 million, you're not going to be able to use this for personnel. It's about to win when he says, y'all got too many employees everywhere. So when you take the 32 and you take the 8 from 186, that's 30. So my question now is, if the governor signs that bill that gives them 40, do you need 86 and 87 anymore? And I would still say the hospital could use 80. But I don't even know if that's there, right? I think the $40 million that the governor can sign now is the same $40 million that we are talking about in these two bills. I don't know. I'll reach out to some people, Senator Chris Duenas or Senator Bree, or maybe even the office of the governor. But right now, Joe Malik is on the line, yeah? All right. Happy day, Joe Malik. All right. Happy day, Joe Malik. Oh, great. I thought. You called me. You told me to call you? Yeah, call me. Call me because I like to hear from you. What are the new updates? We didn't really get to talk too much about your grandniece, right? And so right now she's a police recruit and she's been assigned to the Tamuning precinct as a recruit?
No, 2 months.
2 months, okay. The Sergeant Frankie Smith station?
Who?
The Sergeant Frankie Smith station? The 2-1 precinct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Was in Frankie Smith from Malolo?
I think so, right? He's Sergeant Frankie Smith, right? He was, unfortunately, he was hit by a drunk driver.
Yeah, right across 76.
Oh, see, you remember. Yeah.
No. I got some idea. You want it?
Yes, I do, of course. No idea is a bad idea.
We're not to build a statue for Wicked.
Camp Wicked, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Statue for the hero.
Right?
The hero, the initial mega power.
Right.
Yeah.
Build a statue, yeah.
Statue or monument.
There you go. We'll talk to you.
Right by the Shell gas station.
Okay.
That will be a nice area. Next to the school.
Right. Emmy Lamont, right? Is that Emmy Lamont?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we can just, well, I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from Emmy Lamont. That's Manuel, right? Manuel Lamont?
Yeah. The former governor, the late governor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize he was a governor before.
Looking at my note, Bandung a fund for wisdom will take you thousands of miles looking at my look.
Mm-hmm.
A bundle of respect, a bundle of respect and a ton of wisdom will take you thousands of miles.
Yeah. What will a stack of stupidity get you? Ignorance. A stack of stupidity and I don't know, a group of, or I'm trying to think of see, you can throw me in there too. A stack of ignorance gets you.
A group of, I was thinking of something else. A group of crazy
There you go.
and a ton of morons.
Yeah, well, sometimes maybe you're up to what is it? Maybe you're up to no good, but sometimes that counts for something. I don't know if that makes sense.
That's why the English works.
Yeah, sometimes you should be a little underground. Sometimes you can't take somebody's. Sometimes you can't take somebody's cocky. Okay.
The reporter asked him about burning the American flag.
Okay.
The president responded by saying the First Amendment, that's the block of radioaction because of the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
And I was thinking anybody that burns the American flag is a federal property and should be fined and put in jail. There's thousands of civil wars and thousands of wars, and the American flag was always a root. And I was laughing because the president responded by saying, for the First Amendment. So I said, if somebody burned the American flag, that's a federal property and you should be tried and put in jail.
Well, it's a statement, right? And I know I would be offended if anybody were to burn the U.S. flag, the Guam flag. I would be extremely offended. However, it's only fabric at the end of the day, and it hasn't deterred me from being a proud American or a proud Samoan. When I look at the Guam flag and somebody's burning it, I'm like, wow, there's a ton of stupidity. Because we gotta go. Okay, senor. Thank you so much. But you're like, what is it? What's the first thing? Because that does resonate with me. One where you say, a ton of wisdom. You're right. And respect. Yeah. I would say just respect. You don't even need to be wise. I think you're wise if you just choose to respect and be kind to people, right? Being kind, just being kind will take you a long way. I think it would I think we can never run out of just being kind. Even when people are not being so kind. But thank you so much, Senor. I appreciate you tremendously.
You have to respect everything you
Right.
do, young from the old.
Yeah.
And we know now to respect.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely, Senor. I respect you tremendously. Thank you so much. Is this awesome? Yes, sir. That's all. 3:03 in the afternoon, KGUM FM in Denver, Guam.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Trooper Lawrence. The suspect in the Charlie Kirk killing will make an appearance on Tuesday in court. Discord provided chats to CBS News that appear to show the suspect allegedly confessing to a friend group he killed Kirk. Friends of the slain conservative activists have been calling out political violence. CBS News correspondent Carter Evans has more.
Vice President J.D. Vance took over his late friend's radio show. There is no civility in the celebration of political assassination. Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller is a vast domestic terror movement. Miller said that, quote, in Charlie's name, the administration would dismantle and destroy left-wing organizations they claim are encouraging, inspiring, and funding violence. But he offered no evidence to support that claim.
President Trump has signed an order for what he calls a, quote, Memphis-based task force to take away for National Guard troops to enter Memphis. CBS's Nicole Valdez says it's not clear how soon troops will be on the ground. President Trump didn't say just how soon we could see troops in Memphis. He did say the effort will include more than just the National Guard. Other agencies like the FBI, ATF, even the U.S. Marshals are too being tapped for this new task force. A flag-raising flag is unfurling in Illinois. WBBM Radio's Rachel Pearson says the mayor of the Chicago suburb is defying a presidential order to keep flags in half-staff. Mayor John Lash directed the city to raise its flags back up after 9/11, insisting that lowering them should only be reserved for national tragedies or historic leaders. The move sparked pushback from a local Republican chairman who went around town lowering flags at several city buildings. Lash said city crews are now checking municipal properties and will restore flags to full stop where needed. President Trump heads to the UK for his second state visit. CBS's Stacey Lynn is at the White House with what we can expect from the trip. Science and technology partnership that will include billions of dollars in new investments. A nuclear energy deal that will focus on achieving full independence from Russian nuclear fuel by 2028 and advances in defense technology cooperation. A Wall Street Journal report says toxic fumes can leak from jet engines into the cabin. CBS News found Airbus accounted for about 61% of incidents last year. CBS News senior transportation correspondent Chris Vancouver has more.
Nearly all commercial jets bleed fresh air from the engines, which then fed through an air conditioner and into the cabin. But if an engine fuel fails, oil and other potentially toxic particles can be released. Association of Flight Attendants President Sarah Nelson.
Every aircraft should really have the filtration system on it. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Sherry, what have you done to my hair? What do you mean? Does it look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how quick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair volume from your order. Hair volume, huh? Well, it's certainly a different name. Your hair has never looked perfect. It is gorgeous. I'm so tired of having clean and brittle hair. I'm sorting, so I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to put some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month, and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of the leading award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at NewNordicUSA.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at NewNordicUSA.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Bill is making its Broadway return. Purdue Fish
experts say they're working on a revival of 1981's Dreamgirls, which ran for 4 years and won 6 Tony Awards, including one for Jennifer Holliday. Opening night is scheduled for fall of 2026. No word on the cast, but producers say they'll hold auditions for talented women of all shapes and sizes in New York, LA, Chicago, and other cities in the U.S. and around the world. The 2006 movie adaptation of Dreamgirls starred Beyonce and won Jennifer Hudson an Oscar. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York. Serena and Venus Williams are launching a podcast on X debuting Wednesday. It's called Stockton Street, named after the street they grew up on in Brooklyn. It's set to air every 2 weeks. The first episode was appropriately filmed at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Cooper Lawrence, CBS News.
Can you buy a house without using an agent? I'm Greg McBride at thebankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. Buying a home is the biggest purchase you'll ever make. Do you have to use a real estate agent, or can you go it alone? The good news is that there's no legal requirement to use an agent to buy a home. In fact, about 10 to 15% of home sales each year are done without a real estate agent. But before you give your agent a heave-ho, consider why you would use one in the first place. A good real estate agent will streamline and simplify the home buying process. If you opt to do the house hunting yourself, you'll also have to research area comps to understand fair market value and be prepared to negotiate if necessary on the price. Your agent can help you navigate the complex paperwork involved, which can include any contingencies in the sales contract, documents required to get a mortgage, and help you find a real estate lawyer to assist with the closing process. Although you can do all of these things on your own, a real estate agent can help oversee the process to make it go more smoothly. For more on this, visit bankrate.com. I'm Greg McBride.
Toy shortages this holiday shopping season are inevitable, say industry experts, mostly because of tariffs. I'm Jeff Golden of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. The CEO of the U.S. Toy Industry Association says there will be toys on the shelves, but many shoppers may not find what they want. The difficulties go back to April when the U.S. announced a 145% tariff on Chinese imports. That number has since settled on 30%, but the entire industry was on pause for 60 days of prime manufacturing, the Industry Association chief says. And there's only a certain amount of product you can force through a supply chain when you've missed about 60 days of manufacturing. But couldn't toys be made in the U.S.? The CEO of the U.S. toy importer tells Fortune it wouldn't work because the cost of workers would double or triple the cost of the product. I'm Jeff Golden.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, Jeffrey Collins, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Indie Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, effective, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM from Sound of Guam. Enjoy the show. Hi, everybody, and welcome back here to the Brightside here on Wave 105.1 FM. We know it's out there pouring. So just drive safely, and we're going to entertain you to the Brightside because there's no pouring here, just a lot of good things. Although we do touch serious topics, we definitely make it a fun one at the end of the day. So, continue to take a look here. Of course, before we start the show, I'm going to hand you Brandy Bonder. Big thanks to our friends bringing the show. Our friends over there at Please, more life, great food, and great value happen here. Thank you very much to our friends over there at Sherwin-Williams Paint. That's right, be sure to check out our friends at Sherwin-Williams today. The wet season is upon us, obviously, and maybe you haven't had your roof ready for it. Well, go ready for it now. Go ahead with weather-ready coatings. Be smart and be prepared, and ask our friends at Sherwin-Williams. We also want to thank our friends at Subway who got a refresh to be fresh. Visit them online at subwaypacific.com. Place your order, and then you can pick it up at your convenience or get it delivered to you. It's powered by Good to Go. We deliver it. Thank you to our friends at Sentinel Security Solutions. They're delivering operational excellence and protective services across commercial, industrial, and residential sectors. They're going to be a provider of professional security services. We want to also thank our friends over there at MicroPack. Be sure you check them out. They got electronics. They got all the latest and devices for you. Whatever it is you're looking for, check it out at MicroPack in the Metro Union Mall, as well as on China, San Antonio, and Tamuning. We also want to thank our friends over there at Wise Owl, Other Family Doctor, and to our friends over there at GTA. We start with you, and to our friends at Code School of Guam. Now, be sure to check them out. Learn, code, and lead at the island's first coding boot camp. Your future in tech begins with tech at Code School of Guam. Once again, hopefully everybody, and you're tuning to the Brightside with Polly Suba.
Believe it or not, this is Tuesday. It's a Washington Day too, right? Which is kind of weird. It was sunny this morning.
It was super sunny
I
this
didn't even bring
morning.
my umbrella. I walked in here, no umbrella, no raincoat. And now my car is pretty far away.
In the front?
Yeah. It's a walk to it too, and I'm hoping that by 6 p.m. it kind of calms down. There's still good chance, right? I believe in it.
I believe in it too, Polly. I believe
We
in
need
it.
one of the Isle brothers to call up the sun. Because I was joking. I was over, speaking of Code School of Guam, Leon Chinese,
Yeah.
The owner.
Yes,
I
sir.
saw him on Sunday at the Guam Girl Scouts Cookie Fun Run
Eva.
over at the Leo Palace. And so it's great to see Leon. It's great to see everybody there having a good time, being healthy, running and walking. And they had a 1K, a 2K, and a 5K. They have these girls that are just ready to become Girl Scouts, but they're just a little too young. And so they want to be just like their sisters, right? And so it was a good time over at Leo Palace. And it's great to see Leon, but also Brandon Islet was there, and he was running, and so I was just kind of joking, because it was a great day for a run on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I was like, fellas, to Brandon, he called the sun and said, stay out, come on out. Don't go anywhere, hang out with us, and the sun did. and so, by the time things get done, it's like 8:15, and that's when it gets pretty hot, right? But it was perfect weather, right? And the sun's definitely, it was starting to get hot, but there was still like plenty of shade. But people are packing up already by that time, because you show up at like 5:15. It's still dark. You start running right when the sun starts to come up, and then you're back in, 7:15. If you're like me, 7:30. But and then, you're raffling off all of these great prizes, right? And everybody could care less about how hot it is. They just want to win.
They want to win?
Yeah. Shout out to Southern Mountain there, too.
Oh, wow.
Because they gave a lot of cool prizes.
They have really great stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Kelly Roberto. I don't know her last name now. She's married. Married to a gentleman over at Southern Mountain Dew. But Kelly and I used to do the Saturday night bingo. The community group.
Wow.
Yeah. So Glenn, remember Glenn was on?
Yeah.
That's his sister-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's always got some cool shit. Oh my God, he's got cool shit. And the Southern Mountain people?
Well,
they got cool stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Glenn's now in like Alaska.
Yeah. He's still in shape. I mean,
he's probably getting it from his sister-in-law.
Wow.
And now brother-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Kelly was there with her family. She has a beautiful family.
Yeah.
And she's got a beautiful soul. And so it was great to see Kelly after all of these years. Her son, I remember when he was
a baby. Oh, wow.
He was only 2, and now he's 14. I'm like, what? Where has time gone?
Yeah.
He was a baby. He was a toddler. He's the cutest little boy.
Yeah.
Ezra is his name.
Everyone's just growing up.
Yeah. So there we go. Let's see here, because I saw a release from the governor's office now. So, in response to that meeting that was supposed to have it, I think 17 minutes ago, right? But it has been postponed, according to the letter from Senator Jesse Ray. And so she's reiterating, the Governor Lily Andrero, reiterating her administration's commitment to deploy $100 million in ARPA funds to power water infrastructure in Manila. And so I'm glad that we clarified some of that because, to be honest with you, I didn't know the whole $100 million was going to go to the infrastructure. I thought some of that would, not the whole $100 million. I thought it was going to go, a good amount was going to go to, I knew you're going to need more than $100 million to build this state-of-the-art medical complex in Manila. But, I thought, at least maybe you'll get one wall of the West Wing up, one section of the medical complex with $100 million, right? And some of that would go towards the infrastructure. But we got clarity when we were watching the hearings, and even the AG said, $100 million is only going to go to the power and the water infrastructure, not even the voting. None of it's the voting. And so now we have a better understanding that that's exactly right. These investments immediately benefit current residents and unlock much-needed housing growth to support Guam's community and serve the future new medical complex. These federal dollars are obligated and must be used as planned for Manila's utility backbone that serves our people today and enables new homes for tomorrow. That work will continue, said the governor. And so, regarding the meeting, the letter states that this morning the Attorney General mentioned on a talk radio show, and I remember the AG being on Patty's show, so it's more than likely on Ray's show, that he wanted to meet with the governor without her legal counsel present. Because the governor and the AG are active litigants on this very issue, the governor cannot meet with the Attorney General without her attorneys present. Any engagement will occur with counsel to preserve the integrity of the court process and protect the people's interests. The administration emphasized that reprogramming ERP, state and local fiscal recovery funds, is not possible now that the federal obligation deadline has passed. Under U.S. Treasury guidance, these funds have to be obligated by December 31, 2024. Unobligated funds must be returned to Treasury, and changes after that date are tightly restricted. Guam's ARP utility projects were properly obligated before the deadline and must be carried out as scoped. And that's what Fernando was saying. He was very deliberate with what he was saying. He's like, you're playing a dangerous game. Y'all want to try to ask the president and the Congress to reallocate his money? Are you kidding me? We'll be like, what are you guys doing? Let me just have this money. We'll reallocate it for sure. Somewhere else far, far away from here. I'm paraphrasing. And so, it says here, independent analysis and recent announcements show Guam faces significant housing needs from both civilian growth and the military building. A government housing assessment identified thousands of additional units needed to relieve pent-up demand, about 6,650 units in 2020 through 2025, with further needs through 2030 and beyond. The U.S. Navy and Joint Region Marianas recently launched an initiative to secure approximately 2,400 new housing units for service members and families, much of it targeted to Guam's central region. We talked about that yesterday, right, in the RFP. Underscoring the island-wide shortage and the need to bring new service housing online quickly. Manila's utility upgrades are a housing policy in addition to serving the construction of a new hospital and medical complex, the governor said. By putting pipes, power, and pressure where homes can be built, we lower the barriers to residential development, helping families in Manila to gain and adding the capacity we need. The governor thanks Majority Leader Senator Jesse Lujan for the ongoing dialogue and affirmed continued coordination with legislative leadership and the utilities to keep projects moving. We are ready to meet and to work with council present, given the litigation, so we can deliver reliable infrastructure, more housing, and a new standard of care for our island, the governor said. So she's down to have that meeting, and she's down to get to work, but not without her legal counsel present. All right, let's see here. So the Guam Police Department put out a statement here, and I can't help but just feel emotional because it's related to a death investigation of a 15-year-old. And of course, any death, right, is unwarranted. That's never good in our community, in any community, for that matter. It's a fatal stabbing of a male minor that occurred on September 15th, just yesterday, around 10:21 p.m. Units from the Denver Precinct Command responded to a stabbing in Vigo, and we're finding out that it was zero down. Giving more details. The victim was being transported by family members, but then was intercepted along Route 9, where GFD units were waiting. The victim was transported to GRMC, where he was pronounced dead by emergency room doctor Dr. Von Tramp at 11:09 p.m. GPD's Criminal Investigation Division has been activated, and the case remains open. And so, anyone with information is requested to contact GPD. It's 671-475-8615. 475-8615 or 8616 or 8617. You can also leave an anonymous tip on the Guam Crime Stoppers website at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. guam.crimestoppersweb.com. If you have the P3 app, and I still have it, it knows because it asks you to come up with your own user name, right, or number. And so once you do that, you can always access, and it knows that we live in Guam. And so I would also advocate to download this app if you're familiar. It's a P3 app. It's the Crime Stoppers, National Crime Stoppers app. But it understands where your URL address is, and you can also make an anonymous tip there on the P3 app. So if you understand your smartphone and if you're capable of downloading that P3 app, I highly encourage you to do so. Otherwise, guam.crimestoppersweb.com. The minor, Norm and Alyssa, the PIO of GPD, did confirm that the minor is 15 years old. Yeah. I'm just going to move on because it is pretty emotional, right? But it's important that we come together, if anybody has information about this case or any case for that matter, you can send in your anonymous tip to the Guam Crime Stoppers. Right? And then I also want to make sure I don't forget, because sometimes I admit I do, and I keep these tabs up. There is a meeting this Saturday at 3 p.m. at the Guam Museum Theater in Higalia, right? For the Pacific Association for Radiation Survivors, and they're inviting the entire community to join them. They're going to be presenting on the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. Again, Saturday, September 20, 3 p.m. So that's this Saturday. PARS will be presenting information on how the people of Guam were exposed to nuclear fallout. Cancer survivors and families are encouraged to attend. If you would like additional inquiry, you can email parsguamdownwinders@gmail.com. That's parsguamdownwinders@gmail.com. The other information that I want to share too is the, let me see here. Our friends from Togi were in yesterday, right? And they're doing the Safe Drive Home initiative. And so again, it's every weekend, Friday and Saturday, in the month of September. And they're saying that they plan on doing this again when we get closer to the holidays. So September 19 and September 20, Friday and Saturday, between the hours of 9:30 p.m. and 2:30 a.m., you can call their numbers for a safe drive home. A free designated driver will come and pick you up. 686-9276. That's 686-9276 or 787-9276. Every Friday and Saturday night between 9:30 and 2:30 a.m. you can call. And this is in partnership, Togi Incorporated, with Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center in honor of Recovery Month. It's a Safe Drive Home program. Mr. Kaduku was on the line. I said, great, senor. You're on the air.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, it's raining dogs and cats up there in Cuba.
Wow.
It's getting hard, man. And,
are you staying safe?
what's that?
Are you staying safe?
I'm staying dry, but I was out there working over, just enjoying the work for me.
Yeah.
It's good for you once in a while, you know that?
Right? Yeah, no, I agree.
And I was just wondering because, you know, we talked about the safety of the streets. First of all, like the bonuses for incident that happened there, that stuff should work.
Right.
And I'm wondering, you know, with the highways that been, you know, there's different with that?
Sorry, Kaduku, I can't hear you much. I'm not sure if I'm on speaker, but the call is coming in a little louder. What to do, yes.
So the other thing you have to do is a student garden.
Yes.
And governor and people and big people do, and all the leaders are making sure that traffic stops and coming.
Need to put a what?
You know how to get from how can you call it?
Oh, a traffic light is what you're saying.
Yeah, the traffic light, man, is the best dangerous for the people looking for.
Right. To make a left turn for sure, right?
You have to go like,
Oh, even that?
people are trying to up and down that road. And when the traffic light is so good, when it's well put it out by the high school, they need to put one there at a student garden.
Okay.
There's a lot of that actually where it's like suicide. Like people are dying on their road parties.
Sure. Oh, I believe you.
And that's one thing they need to do. And another thing, these heavy-duty trucks back there, military trucks that carry about 10 buses on the back, they can drive up and down the Newport Drive, buddy.
With people in the back? 35. The speed limit is 35 all over the island.
Yes, and these people on 5 and 50 and 60.
I believe you.
When you put it on the back there, when you have a military truck that carries transports from soldiers, and they're flying down the road and something, maybe a dog or something down in the speed or they have to get the quick stop, they're going to hurt somebody.
Right.
So actually, some of these doctors, they can distinguish because I've tried to do about sometimes it works and sometimes and when you spoke with the military personnel, I started focusing on who was I thought it was the top man, and then all of a sudden, you just slow down and you got somebody And he said, I'm so sure that you feel it. He said, oh, sure, I'll put this up. You better learn how to drive the evening to stop and to hurt somebody when you hurt yourself. You're going to do anything to do with wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
So when you got, you know, it's of course I'm saying, so it's stupid. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I learned that I can do sometimes and you want to just do it. And then you know, well, a matter of half an hour when we get my class, you can't spend on 6 days. Okay. I just don't know what to say. You're going to come and I'm going to make it no problem. I'll do that. Sometimes in the world, I'm too quiet. And you need to most of the speak and look at the not a great show when they start their those 3 times when they start things. And he was firing up for the stories of magic other things. You can't make a good stuff. So you can hurt somebody and still you can kill somebody. So I think it's going to skin the a lot of people go to Brightside and put the so far as going to highways. Anyway, I love that statement of, I think we can fix things over time because there's a lot of fixing things that we're all going to make that man. You know, we just don't want to do these, and everything is nice and good, and we can all have a good time. But we're actually taking the whole and new place, have a good time and a good day, and that's also.
You too. Take care. No, for sure. Yesterday, the governor spoke, right, and she talked about how the Chamorro people are so welcoming. And we welcome everybody into our community and into our family, right? We don't discriminate. We're very hospitable. That's something that I take from my grandparents. All my sets of grandparents, the sets of grandparents, I learned that from them to be welcoming, right, and to share. But I think also when it comes down to what is sharing, right, and so what Paducah is saying is we all want to live in peace and we all want to, there's plenty to go around, but we can't be selfish. And we can't be self-centered. And so, even, I think I was also, maybe it's because I'm uncle, but I'm not rushing to go anywhere at this point. Even if I happen to be running late, oh well, I'll get there when I get there. And this is island life. This is one of the benefits of living on an island. It's okay. I mean, yes, I want to be a go-getter. Yes, I want to be, productive. But one of the benefits of living on Guam is, that we're a little more laid back. We don't have to take everything so seriously. This is not Wall Street. This is not, we can still say hello to each other. We know, if I don't know you, I know somebody that you know. And so, go to a store, we don't need to act and bad about people. Nice smile or even the head nod. When you make eye contact, maybe you don't mean to make eye contact, you're like, but even on the road rage is not necessary. It's just not. So, and when you really think about it, you're getting on the road and you're trying to get from point A to point B, and so is everybody else. And even to just get into a fender bender, it can mess your whole schedule up. Right? But what is even the point of getting, and I'm guilty too, and I even have to check myself. And sometimes I'm even happy when I have one of my kids, because they'll check me too. Like, so what? So I'm even at the point where somebody will cut me off, and I'm like, we're still gonna get to where we need to go. It's not that big of a deal. We're not. There's no like Disneyland. We're not in line to get into a ride or anything. We're all we're on the road, sharing it with each other. And so there's no need to drive 45 or 50 even on that road that Paducah's talking about. Coming out of a Stumble Garden, yeah, I can totally see that. I agree with him when if you're trying to make that left turn, you're even putting your life in danger. And for what? So yeah, we should, especially with all of this rain and the visibility is low, just slow it down a little bit, right? Joe Malik is back. That's a day, senor. Senor, you're on the air. Hey.
You outside my pickup truck, you waiting.
Yeah? Where are you trying to, are you waiting for the rain to slow down before you can drive off safely? Is that what it is?
No, like to advise all these drivers.
Yeah?
To turn your light.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pretty dark out?
It is. I mean, this road continues on to the farm goes down, they turn on. Before the street light turns on, because I kind of always see the road because of the light.
Right.
And you need to turn on the lights when we come to, because we're going trying to stay away from the highway.
Uh-huh.
And some of these guys are entering the other lane.
Really?
And the water flies up to my window.
Uh-huh.
The people's window.
Yeah.
They need to turn on the light. I got my light.
Well, that's all part of it, right? I mean, that's how you get your driver's license. That's all part of, getting on the road. That's how you get your driver's license. That it's part of the mandate that you're supposed to turn on your lights when during low visibility, right? Whether it's at night or in this kind of inclement weather. Yeah. I agree.
You're talking about my granddaughter?
Okay. Yes.
I think I forgot to ask them how many of them have graduated. I think they gave them 2 months of OJT.
What is that? On-the-job training?
On the job training, I don't know.
Wow, good.
I'm not because when people come in ask me to put on the pin
Yeah. In December, right?
Yeah. She told me that it's 2 months for fuel training.
Okay. And is it 20 hours a week or 20 hours a month?
I think it's just a regular 8 hours.
No, but you were saying that they get 20 hours of on-the-job training, right? And so...
I think they finished the...
Yeah, they finished it all. So what, now she's just sitting at home waiting for her graduation day in December?
No, they're doing the field training.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So, is that every day? I mean, you can only have so many if you have 20 hours, you got to divide it up, right?
Yeah, but every day.
So every day. So, 20 hours is pretty quick. I mean, if it's 8 hours, 16 hours in just 3 days, in 2 days. Yeah, 2 days.
No, the whole week.
The whole week. But if you're going the whole week, that's 30 hours.
And was that you know the evening shift?
I hope so. What shift is that? Like what? 6 p.m. to 2 a.m.?
6 to 12.
6 to 12. Okay, only 6 hours. That's not bad.
But they won't be graduating until December.
December, yeah. When you were recruited in the police, it was like being back in the army?
No, when I got out from home.
Yeah, like you had like a whole drill sergeant, right? I saw photos because my dad used to be one of those company commanders for the new cycle, and he ran it like they were in the military. I'm like, this is intense. So you have to do all of the push-ups and like get down. So how many months was that? I can't remember. I wasn't actually in it.
We only had I believe only 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
but I was
4 months of that? Like,
I was gonna tell him that a good police officer is gonna take you about 8 years.
8 years.
8 years to know everything.
To know everything, yeah.
From the local law and the federal law.
Right. Yeah.
I have to execute on the law because there's a degree to follow on the policy.
Right.
Basically, that you have to follow.
In 8 years, how many divisions should you have gone through in 8 years?
I was assigned over to the Harbor Patrol.
Okay, that's one.
The team, the PPD.
Okay.
Third time on investigation.
Okay.
Third time on the traffic.
Okay.
Yeah, I still was the supervisor for traffic section.
On Kibaki?
Yeah.
People still have PTSD after getting pulled over by her.
Well, only the funny thing, I remember the Harbor Patrol, we used the Harley motorcycle.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the police department was 2 of us. My brother Felix and my brother Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 of us. And I'm the sergeant over to the Senate General for investigators.
Oh, so the police officers were the investigators at the AG's office.
My brother Felix, yes.
So that's a division as a police officer to go into the AG's office as an investigator? That's not how it is now, though, right?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
What happened to the AG? We were the director of the police.
Okay.
And I have 2 investigators who transfer over. But my brother Felix, because he told me, I think the last time I told me in the comment.
Yeah.
You have to do how do I recommend? Do I recommend for him to transfer over to the Attorney General?
Uh-huh.
And I told him, I said, you get paid more, and go ahead and transfer.
Oh, so he transferred go to the AG office? Where's the police office? Okay, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Got it. Hey, I better run because I didn't even take this break yet. Is that okay? If you, stay at the ranch one if you're going to drink some Bud Light and wait for the rain to stop, yeah? Okay. There you go. Just sleep it off then. Just sleep on the couch. There you go. Okay, senor? Okay. That's done. I appreciate you. All right. Senor? Okay. All right, 2:48 in the afternoon. We will take a break. Wave 105.
Alrighty, here we go, everybody. Again, thanks so much for keeping it locked here to the Brightside. Coming up for you real soon, we will be taking a look at your 4 o'clock rush hour traffic. I mean, that's like the new rush hour. But we'll see. With all this rain, there's not much to tell except just to continue to drive safely whichever way you're headed to and continue to keep it locked here to the Brightside on Wave 105.1 FM. We'll be back. For more information, press 675.
Thank you so much for 8 o'clock. Every Friday evening, join Ron and Jenny Kaufman for the August Time. Talk show for treatment and systematic where you find out who you are, what is the purpose of your life, how can you accomplish and fulfill, what motivates you to do what you do, what are you searching for, what keeps you going in your day-to-day life, what do you want, why do you care, why do you work, why do you love. Sponsored by Burger King, J. Goodman, and the Blue Jowl Community School. Burger King is celebrating 36 years. We want to ask you to vote on the second one, 2025. For that privilege, from August 22nd through September 19th. Y'all are graduating our contest every day. We offer over equipment, our new office offers by you, in your level to scholarship and transformation, and listening to a great price of the holiday season. What's the partnership for Best Burger in Ticket Best One 2025? Burger King.
Guam. Kevin Outlet here from the National Weather Service and with the Guam Power Authority. National Preparedness Month is here. The preparedness starts at home. Does your preparedness kit have water, food, flashlights, first aid, storm, and some snacks for the kids? Great. Now lend a hand. Check in with a neighbor, especially with an and make sure their kit is ready to. Preparedness is for the family and it starts at home. NWS and GP are going together. For more tips, visit GPS.guam.gov and follow GPA on Facebook and on Instagram.
We're excited to announce that we're hiring for a variety of positions from some of Guam's most recognized and respected brands, including Coca-Cola, Ramos, Chili's, Ghost of Guam, Subway, Disco, and Cinema. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take the next step of your career, there's something here for everyone. Explore current opportunities and apply today at BuyNowGuam.com. Your next great opportunity is just a click away.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup at your convenience or delivery right to your doorstep. Online order at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Mexico. Delivery and set lines on a recess chicken free.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, Jeff McCullers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, British Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to live our quality, effective, and easy content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Please tune in to Wave 105 FM from San Guam. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome back to the Brightside. We're on the way 105 in the north. Not so great. This side. You're on the radio, right? Appreciate you. I don't know. I was trying to get in here on a conversation. I was like, he must want to do this now. He must want to talk about the Molotov and Chester right now. He thought that he was supposed to be doing this at 3:30, but we're like 8 minutes away from 4 anyways, right?
Yeah.
So we can just wait, and so I'm actually looking forward to the conversation. It's always fun to hang out with Kyle, and so we'll be talking about that in just a bit. So there was this other release too while I have your attention. This one from the Attorney General's office. And it is related to the Hagana Pool. The Hagana Pool was, for many of us, a given in how we grew up as teens and young adults with our family, classmates, and friends. This is from the Attorney General's office, right? And so, unfortunately, our children and grandchildren have now been deprived of this positive experience by this governor and her cabinet. Our basic government services continue to deteriorate, including businesses failing, village roads destroying our cars, and danger hazards. An overcrowded prison, non-existent and half-time school system, and a hospital on the edge of burning to the ground. Again, this is a statement from the Attorney General's office. The Hagana Pool is the canary in a coal mine. Since this governor and her cabinet became Guam's chief executive officer, government revenues have gone up and our quality of life gone down. The main driving force of our economic engine is now transforming Guam into target number one for the nation's adversaries. Is that what we want our home to be known as? Why? As a territory with American citizen residents, we all have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Poor leadership comes from pride and an inability to fix what is broken for things that matter. Projects preserving and improving our quality of life. The textbook definition of failing government is the inverse curve we experience today. A huge $1.3 billion annual GovGuam revenue stream and a chief executive and cabinet unable to translate those massive resources into simple quality of life issues, such as working premier island pool for all to enjoy, but especially our families who live here and call Guam our home. And so he sends pictures of what it used to look like and what it's currently looking like. And so I know that there was a groundbreaking in the director of Department of Parks and Recreation was saying that they have a year to get this up and running. And so the clock's ticking. It's July, so now we're in the middle of September. So in essence, the clock is at 10 months. Jason, and it has been a while. Good day, Jason. How are your Dolphins?
Oh, man, we're starting off just like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, 0-2. The Chiefs are 0-2. That's crazy. I was not expecting that. But the schedule was pretty tough right away, right off the bat, right?
True.
Yeah.
But, it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
But, let's see we can wake up.
Right. Absolutely. How's everything? To be honest with you, I'm pretty happy with the Niners. Brock Purdy, I wasn't really feeling him anyways, and so I wasn't too worried. I think Mac Jones didn't really he wasn't given a fair shot with either New England or the Jaguars, and so I was kind of happy to get Mac Jones, and he did pretty well in New Orleans.
There you go. I'd rather have him than Zach Wilson.
How you doing? How's everything else, though? You staying dry?
Yeah, staying dry. Yeah. But, man, gosh, there's something that, I want to bring to your attention. Really? I hate being the bearer of bad news. Like, you know me, I like to stay positive. But there's something going on with the mass transit.
Okay.
Regional transit.
Okay.
I mean, you can try to have them answer some questions because as a writer, and others, I'm sorry, but I'm speaking out now. Okay. Because, with a person with a disability, this is my livelihood of how I get to work.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Probably the paratransit is running on 3 buses right now.
Okay.
For the whole island.
3 buses for the whole island.
Yeah, and they usually run 7 buses.
Okay.
And buses are going down like flies right now. And nobody's telling anybody anything. And it seems
like they're scrambling, and like I said, I don't want them to go bad news on them, and I don't want to talk ill of the agency. But all I'm asking is for somebody to give us an explanation of why all these buses are going down. You know? They're going down, like I said, like flies. And even on the public transit side, they're running, I believe, on 4 buses, which they usually run, I believe, 7 to 8 buses on that side. So it's kind of crazy right now.
How is it affecting your schedule now? Like, are you being delayed by minutes, by hours because of this?
We're going to be delayed by hours. And if you work in a government agency, you cannot be an hour late for work, especially with me working in the Department of Education.
Right. So what are they asking you to do? Is there a letter saying, for all of our riders, we need you at your station, or this is a modified pickup schedule? Or have they done that already?
No, well, that's my point I'm making. It's like somebody needs to have some questions answered in the public, because all of a sudden now they have, the dispatchers following people right now, letting them know it's going to be bad. Why are we waiting for this to happen?
Tomorrow's a work day.
Tomorrow's a work day, and this is beyond CPR already. This is blood gushing out of the body, and there's nowhere to stop it, if you want to compare the analogy. This could have been prevented months ago, even years ago, but for some odd reason, nobody's saying anything, and I'll be the first one to say, what is going on? Because this is ridiculous. I've been running this public transit system since 1995, and it's never been this bad. People are going to be late for work now. Dialysis patients who make up the bulk of the public transit riders are going to be extremely late for their hookups tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to try to see if we can get somebody to respond at least in the next hour. If not, I will do my due diligence and try to get a better answer either with Patty in the morning or on my show later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, because for me, it just sounds like, there's no maintenance going on. If there is, water buses breaking down faster than they're getting fixed. And what is downtown doing, it's like nobody's communicating with anybody.
Right.
This is beyond damage control. This is just not, the transit system is flatlining right now.
All right. I appreciate this.
So, other than that, let's hope for the best for the football season.
Yeah. Can you tell me what they called you, and what exactly did they say will happen tomorrow?
They were giving us fair warning that, you're going to be at least 30 to an hour late. 30 to an hour late. But if you're going to translate that for over 100 riders, you're talking about the mass transit. And the paratransit, which has over 100 people driving with disabilities, everybody is going to be late.
Okay.
Like more than an hour. Because how do you fit over 200 people with 3 buses to go every which way over an hour?
Did they also say that this is going to be, you're going to have these issues for longer than one day?
No. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's saying anything. Like I said, why are we waiting for, buses that are 7 to go down to 5, down to 4, now down to 3?
Right.
What's going to happen? You only have 2 buses running.
Right.
That's the problem. Why isn't Pablo saying anything? Or, like I said, left hand's not talking to right hand, and everybody in the middle is getting squeezed. That's all I'm asking is for somebody to give us straight answers, because, we deserve that.
Right. Absolutely. I'll try to see who I can, try to make some calls and texts and see what I can gather in the next hour or in the morning.
Yep. And just be prepared. I might be the first one, but you might be getting more callers.
I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. The more the merrier, to be honest with you. That's how we're going to get their attention. So thank you.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm not trying to, have any animosity towards the agency, but we need to fix this and we need to fix it now, because a lot of our livelihoods depend on this type of transportation.
Right. All right. I appreciate this.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you, Jason. Take care. Take care.
All right, man. Thank you.
I'll follow through in the afternoon. We will take our break. On the other side, I was going to be hanging out with us, and we're going to be talking about that event, the Maya Chapman Festa with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability. Is partnering up with so many chefs for this event that is happening on Thursday. So that's what we have to look forward to in the next couple of minutes in the 4 o'clock hour. So once again, KG1 FM in Guerrero, Guam.
I'm Cooper Lawrence. The suspect in the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk will make his first court appearance Tuesday to be arraigned on charges. CBS News has learned from a spokesperson for the online Discord platform that law enforcement has been giving copies of chat messages that appear to show the suspect in Charlie Kirk's death confessing to the killing about 2 hours before being taken into custody. The messages were first reported by the Washington Post. Utah's governor says the 22-year-old suspect is not cooperating with the investigation. Jennifer Piper, CBS News. President Trump's FBI director, Keith Patel, is set to appear before lawmakers. CBS's Tori Small report.
In response to the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, faced intense scrutiny online, including when he prematurely posted major developments. The FBI's handling of its investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein also drew bipartisan backlash for the Trump loyalists.
The Federal Reserve will begin a 2-day policy meeting Tuesday. CBS News business analyst Jim Fletcher has widely expected that the Fed will lower interest rates by 1/4 of a percentage point. Economists and analysts say that it is more likely that the Fed sees the risk of the job market deteriorating as a greater threat to the overall health of the economy than tariff-induced inflation. A swing and a miss for the White House after an appeals court ruled that Lisa Cook can remain the Federal Reserve governor. This prevents President Trump's effort to remove her just ahead of a key vote on interest rates. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levins.
The trial court in this case caused a filing, finding that 4-clause requirement may only apply to activities that people undertake while on the job.
Israel's defense minister says Gaza is burning after heavy strikes overnight across Gaza City. BBC News' Daniel Yalakaza has the story.
Israel has stepped up its bombardment of Gaza City. The intensification came ahead of a long-threatened full-scale ground invasion of the city, which is home to hundreds of thousands of people. Many have already fled.
CBS News has learned that tech company Oracle is one of several firms that would enable TikTok to continue operations in the U.S. if the deal between the U.S. and China is finalized. The precise structure of the final deal is unclear, but could include multiple companies, including TikTok's parent company, Brightside. President Trump and Chinese President Xi are expected to talk on Friday. The deadline, September 17th. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to PureTalk, but she's worried the DSL is too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those PureTalk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you, when I told my mom, it's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, PureTalk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Military tip shops are helping the troops get affordable uniforms.
The tours are run by the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. The one at the Naval Air Station, Flight Reserve Base Fort Worth, is full of uniforms. Technical Sergeant Bobby Mitchell is an Air Force reservist.
I'm just looking for a cheap way to not have to go break the bank to go and replace my item.
He says he saves a ton of money.
I think this set would be, if it's in it, would be about $10 compared to about $60 or $70.
Profits generated by the 120-year-old organization help sailors and Marines in financial need. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
You are thinking about Thanksgiving. Butterball released its annual Look at What Families Are Doing This Year. Hosts are expected an average of 9 guests. 28% expected placed into transient plans, down from 53% in 2024. Turkey remains the favorite part of the meal, 41% said stuffing, while mashed and sweet potatoes solid at 26%. Cooper Lawrence, CBS News. All right, welcome back, everybody, from the CBS News. We're going to go ahead and take a look here at your real deal traffic report. I'm talking to you guys about our friends over there. Mobile Your Guam, Angela is here. Be sure you check them out today. They're taking care of you, especially when it comes to rewards. You can download their app real soon. Not real soon. Just download it now if you can, okay? That's Mobile Oil Guam, Energy Load here. We also want to thank our friends over there at Guam Auto Spa. You can go ahead and visit them today as well. Online, you can see what cars they have in their inventory, as well as, of course, you want to schedule a test drive. That's perfect. You can do that all on their website. Once again, that's our friends over there at Guam Auto Spa. Visit them at guamautospa.com today. All right, so we're taking a look at the runway. We just mentioned there was plenty of rain a little bit earlier. So please, it's still kind of raining. I have to just step outside for a sec. So drive slowly and safely, especially as you approach areas where there tends to be flooding. Let's see. So traffic right now in this 4 o'clock hour, Barrigado is definitely busy. For those who are coming from the post office, you're headed towards Barrigado Heights. You can definitely expect some traffic. When they have the construction, remember how we had to merge from the inner to the outer lane? I just want everybody know, just in case you didn't, those lanes are now open, right? So you can be on the inner or the outer lane. That's before you get to that tire stop there in Barrigado Heights. So just be aware of that. You can expect traffic there as well. And even when you get here to the DMV or the emergency intersection. Let's see where else we got traffic. Anyone is traveling to Route 16, making extra traffic there behind the intersection on all sides for those who are coming from the Harmon Loop Road, for those that are coming from the mall intersection, and then even for those who are coming from the overpass. So just be aware of the traffic there. And then up to 2 months, I'm going to say this traffic actually starts at the mall intersection. And it goes all the way down with pretty congestion. This is a little bit early for the 4 o'clock hour. I'm not sure if it's just the rain that's causing everyone to kind of slow it down a bit, which is really great. So just be aware of that. But we're in a lot of congestion there. And then one more place you can call. Let's just look to the south is really great. South is looking pretty all right. You don't have to worry about too much there. Okay, and I think that might be it. Wrapping up our real deal traffic report here. Once again, a big shout out to our friends over there at Mobile Your Guam, Energy Load here, and our friends over there at Guam Auto Spa. And for today, we're going to have fans really down. We're going to talk about the things that are going on Island and in the community, and we're going to talk with you. If you are enjoying this mobile feature, either it's signed in, we welcome it. We welcome all points of view, our small perspectives, and what kind of us. 719-151, the Pathway TV, and also 93-102. This is not for everyone. Thanks for listening. So please don't forget to the top. Wow. It's you from the rain, you know, every time you learn how to find the phone, it's taking a road open, and we're just from this phone. And now, it's a little bit for an institute, making Guam for its cause. It's that year, making that important sound early on the road to make it like that.
Today, Guam, Latham Island here from the National Weather Service and with the Guam Power Authority. National Preparedness Month is here, and preparedness starts at home. Those are prepared to put hot water, food, sustenance, first aid, film, and some snacks for the kids. Great. Now run to home, check in with a neighbor, especially if an uncle, and make sure their trip is ready too. Preparedness is for the family and it starts at home. NWS and TQ, carrying on together. more tips, visit PHS.com and follow PA on Facebook and on Instagram.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, Justin Collins, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Brightside Media, or any of our partners. As we start to provide fun, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM on Sound of Guam. Enjoy the show. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Brightside here on Wave 105.1 FM. We want to thank our amazing sponsors for making this possible. Big shout out to our friends over there. And thank you so much to our friends over there at Sherwin-Williams Paint. That's right. You can check out our friends at Sherwin-Williams today and get your lock-on painting for your roof. That's right. It's engineered for Guam's dry to wet season shift. It's built tough, made to last. Protect what matters today. And at Sherwin-Williams, we also want to thank our friends over there at Sentinel Security Solutions. Guam's premier provider of professional services. They're delivering operational excellence and protective services across commercial, industrial, and residential sectors. We want to thank our friends at GTA. We start with you. Shout out to our friends over there at Subway. You got to refresh to be fresh. Visit them online at subwaypacific.com and you can order any of your favorite Subway items. You can also get it delivered to you. It's powered by Good to Go. We deliver. Shout out to our friends at Micropack. You can check them out for whatever it is that you're looking in for electronics, whether it's a big old speaker, a small speaker, big TV, small TV, and even the phones that have the cords. They got it for you. You can check them out today, our friends over there at Micropack and the Micro Mall. 2 locations there, and then they have their location in Timonium. We also want to thank our friends over there at Chili's. More live great food and great value happening with our friends at Chili's. And big thank you going out to our friends at GTA. We start with you and Coach Full of Guam. Learn, code, and lead at the island's first coding bootcamp. Your future and technical success at Code School of Guam. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready to start. Welcome back to the Brightside here on Wave 105.1 FM. Well, welcome back. Believe it or not, this is Tuesday. Thank you for hanging out with us online at wave105.com as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. And so if you're tuned into our YouTube, you'll be able to see our special guest for this hour. It's none other than my first time working together. Thank you. Is that how you took your picture of elementary? When you were in Germany? My first time working so many times. I didn't realize how expensive those picture packets were. But seriously, I was $40 back in the early 2000s. It was crazy. Crazy. Yeah. And they didn't for anybody in proof. So you would just come home and like, look. It's like, wow, we should do that. That was little name creepy right there. That was a big anybody. She never did. But yeah, no, I was just my first workout. So I'm looking at this event that's happening, in 2 days? Milo Test and Checked Out? Yeah, so it's actually a big part of the Sustainable Supply. Okay. Yeah, so we got a chance, and thanks again for having me. Yeah. It's a wonderful opportunity. I look for you all the time. I just don't get to call. I forget the message. I change my voice. It's a great show, and it's me. Sometimes I'm texting it like, clearly not. Is that him? Is that not? We will never know. And you can just make it look on here. It's a good voice. But yeah, it's great. We're celebrating Sustainable September over at the University of Guam. Center for Island Sustainability and Food Lab. And someone's got to do it. So I'm excited that we've got some events coming up this month. All in all, with the intention of getting us, on a level of getting us to the right mindset. And you're, totally down for it. I know that. I'm thinking with even though she's a scientist, and just present it across the world. That's kind of where we're going, Like, I need to get people thinking and realizing that we literally only have one island.
We need more buy-in.
Yeah, and if we don't start thinking about these things, like,
water. You know, I can't afford to sponsor $8,000 house. I saw the nice place at the middle over there.
I didn't know about 400 to be honest with you.
No, it's cool. And then my friend told me she's a realtor. First she told me it's not realtor, it's a realtor. And then she was like, oh, the interest don't tell me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
iPhone insurance too.
Yeah. And she was like, what? And I was like, oh. And so I got my son to worry, but I want to be like here forever. And I know that there's a lot of people who have to leave for reasons that are, in some cases, out of their control, medical needs, and that kind of stuff.
Opportunity.
I firmly believe that nobody really, like our first instinct, I should say, isn't one spirit. And I know I can say that for myself, legit, right? My kids, for sure. My kids were like, no.
No, because that's why we need to do better in creating more opportunities here. Because we can't judge people when they're like, really nothing here for me. And
I can say, let me show you all of these other opportunities that are here.
Right, but I'm not going to make the decision for them. And so when others do make that decision, you know, the prayer is always, how can we make Guam create more opportunities so our brothers or sisters, our children, and if they have less opportunity, can come home.
That's one of our programs, and I know that you're a big supporter. We talked about it before. Navigating them, you know, a lot of people got their NSF money checked out and cleaned out, and lots of this is going on with whatever we're thinking right now. But luckily, they actually didn't pull ours. I don't know what I got. And we're continuing our navigating home program. We're actually looking for navigating home fellows right now. And so this program is designed to bring people who know something that they learn off island back home. We've been so successful. We've had people like Justin Cruz and Morgan Manuel who's over there now at the water energy office.
Okay.
And so they're both on our island. They both mastered these different crafts. Morgan got her master's degree in urban energy planning.
Yeah, just keep going.
You know, all those different things. And so she's back home now. We give them the money for the first year. Right. So through this grant, we're able to pay their expenses to come back home first and foremost. So they don't got to worry about, you know, spending that money. And on top of that, we take care of their salary for the first year, training and working in the health sites, like the Guam Energy Office, like the Department of Ag, Caitlin was over there. And the hope and the intention is that after a year of on-the-job training that the department doesn't have to pay for, why wouldn't you have them? Versus having somebody that has no experience, you know?
What's his name again?
Justin Cruz.
Yeah. How many deaths did he create?
You ready for this? He is getting all the press together. So he made a few deaths already, but we've been getting so much interest and students in schools from all over the island have been reaching out trying to get more deaths. It shows that there's a need. And so he has his plastic drive going. We're collecting a lot of stuff. We're getting it all cleaned up. And a lot of people are dropping stuff over. So now we're going to get ready, heat it up, perfect, and then he'll move on.
Where are you heating it up at?
All of it's in our village.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, this space actually is a little bit.
Not only are they barbecuing,
but also in the river. Barbecuing the doctor. I've never missed school, I swear.
Oh, you have like one of those theaters that go.
I've never been to a liquor store,
but I've never seen the
plastic house. Okay. So the first house is the store. Yeah. That's where we have the education part, and then also the liquor part. The back part is the workshop. It's in there. That's where all the tools are. All those $40,000
where is it melting down?
In the middle house.
In the middle.
So in the middle house, we have a whole other line of products. Okay. One of it is you ever watch those videos on YouTube where they just throw stuff into the blender?
Yeah.
Like everything? We got that.
I like watching it on TikTok. See? Or even the candle.
Yep.
When it squeezes it down and then it all comes out like it's art.
Yeah. So we got one of those. That's how we made the book stick. And then from there we put it in the computer.
I've seen it. Okay, I've seen it.
And it melts everything. Gets the balance from your he's trying to make like building material. So he's actually made plastic lumber.
Okay.
And it's stronger. Like you put it in a little Tesco machine and you it's a freaking. And it's stronger than the one that you have to get in the States.
So we're pretty close to what are we, like 10, 20 years out building homes?
Oh, it's sooner than that. I mean, our wood's better than theirs already in terms of the plastic lumber. So hopefully we'll be able to
make me smile.
Make me smile. I'm not going to get around. Right?
next week. Yeah, it sounds like he's doing something. He's also looking at integrating it into concrete.
Yeah.
Because he's saying that if you put that grounded up plastic and some of those extra things, it creates fibers in the concrete like you would in wood, and it makes it that much more durable and stronger. So that's all research we're doing down there. Everybody's invited. You can come check it out if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun. It works like a gym.
Wednesday night market is like where I send my family and friends. You gotta go check out the Guam Green Growth store.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you guys are partnering with so many people here on the island, but even in the region, and you're selling some really cool products.
Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is also like local stuff that, like, we don't even know people here in Guam are making one-off plastic. We didn't know that. I love the line that there is on all the recycled portions. Have you seen those?
Yes.
The one with the two bag pairs.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's so like creative. And so to see that happen and to move that away from the landfill, you know, there's talking about the landfill, like, oh, it's okay, we put it on the good another one. Pretty good. Water. Watch everybody. Watch water. Because it's legit.
Even when we talk about an incinerator, I mean, we have so much trash, but I'm hearing that we don't have enough trash for an incinerator.
I'll pick up the EOG hat. I want one. I want one after I saw this video and I did some of the to do. I even like, I wanted the government to say, and I thought, okay.
Why didn't you want one?
Well, she says that she did everything. What she did, and she's not convinced that they really, you know, and I agree. Like, she has to definitely do her research. So she told me she's going to think about it and look into it more.
Because, I mean, there's the idea that we can even be taking our brothers and sisters' trash from the other home.
That's what I'm thinking. And everywhere else, they're not going to ship our trash.
And the energy, use that energy back to cheaper power.
But yeah, the government is checking it out. I know there's people working on it also. So
she'll be out in 1 year, so we got to check another governor.
Okay, I'll see. I got some other things out.
Josh, Frank,
all of them.
Three,
right? And the reason I want it is because I saw this video like a person more investigating Taylor.
No.
She's not running?
No. Well, I confirmed that she's now running for the county government. Throw that out. No, she's not a lawyer. Yeah.
So you're running for AG?
That's a rumor, so I can't confirm.
Tell me more. What else have you heard?
So Therese Ferlani, that's a rumor. Chris Barnett can be possibly Congress or senator or governor or lieutenant governor. Those are just rumors. But Senator Calacategori told me herself that she is not running, so we can push that aside. She won't be running with Doug, and so.
But is Doug going to run?
He's considering governor. Yeah.
And if the governor on the Democratic side.
Democrat, I mean, we know Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio is Senator Joe Snobbstein and Senator Dwayne are confirmed.
Yeah.
Sure. I've already seen both of their faces squished together in a picture. Yeah, so they're definitely a team. And then on the Republican side, Tony, Ada, and E.J. Calvo.
Yeah, that was confirmed, right?
Senator Speaker Fred Gus, I'm not sure. Who. Mike Cruz is the other name that comes out too.
Yeah. Senator, Speaker has a sticker on the back of his cap.
Who?
Speaker. It doesn't say his name, it says Vita 2036.
So there you go.
But I think that's confirmed. Then the speaker comes in.
Well, he said he's going to be running for governor, but I don't know who he's going to be running with. Maybe Mary Torres? That's another name that comes up too.
She's been about a million times before.
Yeah. Maybe Prada is another name that comes up. And she might be superintendent.
That's what I heard. I heard she was going to be superintendent. I heard she didn't want that my website.
Superintendent? Yeah, that's another name.
Ooh, what's that? That's it.
There you go.
Sorry, we digress. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun about sustainability. Thursday, actually, okay, so as I said, the Sustainable September. So we already had a tree planting event.
Okay.
1,500 trees in the ground.
Nice.
Love that. We've got a
people to put trees in the ground too.
I don't know.
Don't like that.
And so we met someone out, thank goodness. A lot of great support there. Anybody who's running for senator or office, I'd love for you to come down, just so you can see everything that's going on, you know? And there's a lot of people that haven't had the chance to come over. When they do come over, they're just like, man, this is really cool. Because, like, what one thing we want to try to do is sustainable, tangible solutions. Because there's no other think tank. Like, what is aquaponics? Yeah, we're trying to make it happen. And so that's where the motherfucking center comes in. It's aquaponics, right? For those professionals who've been on your show before,
I love his lemon cake. Get another stock of lemon cake.
So good. And so he's been bringing the aquaponics to the community.
Yeah.
He's got huge support for it. A lot of folks on the waiting list because the list is so long, which is great.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're trying to showcase for now how to cook all that. So we teamed up with the Micronesian Chefs Association, the American Culinary Federation, and they have this annual event called Magnificent so far. It came back last year after hiatus because of the pandemic.
Okay.
And so it's back.
I thought it was even happening before the pandemic. I didn't know that. I thought this was fairly new.
And so they flagged up with local farmers too. So that's from a bit about Barber over the extension.
When you say Bob Barber, I think of Instant Family.
Yeah?
The part where she goes, gotta buy me a fat Barbie. I want a big Barbie. One of my favorite things.
So good. So good. So, Bob Barber, when he worked with the team, and so they got a bunch of local farmers. We're talking Doni, we're talking Lema, we're talking Agda, we're talking just
I think the team that has the cherry is going to have the hardest time. I think that they're going to. Yeah. So I was telling Reese earlier, it's like that's going to either make or break them. Because if they come up with something fantastic using the manzanita, like how do you not win?
I'm telling you, it's like sweetness, and I hope it's making a pizza.
Right.
So, Dylan, I hope it's making a pizza.
Yeah, because that's Team Pizzacaya, right? And so they got the local cherry as their special ingredient. I was even telling her that reminds me of Iron Chef. You know, like the special ingredient for this episode is, and then he does his kung fu chop. And then these some random ingredients, octopus or sweet bread.
Pizza.
Yeah. Pizza, that's another one, yeah.
One time on top, they did that.
Yeah.
Beef genital.
That's what I was kind of hoping for, to be honest with you. I'm like, ooh, just good, maybe. Good job.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's going to be really awesome because it's all this, and it's open to everybody. You can come on out. They're also going to be featuring the aquaponics fish. So people can get a chance to taste that. Then Chef really put in the chat the other day that it was really, really good. The local fish, he found that one. And so it was so good. So, if you want to come out, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's just going to be I've got some on you. You can call me up, 777-5787.
How does this all work? Is it a competition? Because I'm switching competitors, but are there being judged?
So there were the judges, and then there's also the Tabasco competitions going on with our representatives, like you said, from Pino Pizzacaya, Hyatt, Subaki Tower, the kids from Postcard are going to be there from GCP and JP and Simon Fensters. There's a lot of great groups that are going to be representing Mesca, and they're all going to just do their thing. They're each creating 3 different items.
And so if you get these tickets, right, like you mentioned, $85, are you starting all of them? So you're going to get, because it's a 3-course meal, and there are...
It's not a meal for food.
Okay.
It's special, right? So there's going to be picking an individual size.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
But it's
okay.
So you're going to be full, and you're going to be full with the drink.
Oh, I believe you. I believe that you will get full. And so, but you are going to try every entree or every pizza from every competitor.
Oh, yeah. So good. And especially when I really expect none of this stuff's on their menu.
Right.
A lot of them are having fun just like they would on Chopped or anywhere else like those shows. And so, like, if you've ever seen that stuff, it's really, really interesting. And to see them make the talent like that, you know, and especially the Postcard teams come out and do their thing.
Are you watching them cook this stuff?
No.
Okay.
So everything they're preparing in the back with post time and we get to ask the Chef's questions, which is also one of my favorites. Because you can literally be like, Chef, what is that taste? Why does it have that tone on it? And they're like, it's talent. And I'm like, it's very if you're trying to get this crust, it's the stuff that you want now. But, yeah, so the kids are going to be like, that's what it's all about, really. We're trying to raise awareness of aquaculture. agriculture, obviously. Guam imports 90% of everything, and that number isn't getting any lower anytime soon. So anything we can do to grow our vegetables, grow our food, grow our fish, is only going to be better for our community. I mean,
nobody's going to win an aquaponics.
That's your point, right? Yeah. So when you come in, you're also going to give you a chance to win an aquaponics system. If you'd like to win, because I don't want to give it to you and you're just going to use it to make potato salad.
I think they're going to help build it in your home.
So the story is this, right? We want to make sure we set you up for success. And if I gave you the giant concrete, and it's a big one, and the whole filtration system and all of that, and you take it home, and you're one of those people who don't know how to read directions good like me, and it's going to be upside down, and it's not going to serve anybody else. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the winner, and we're going to put them in the course that the winners have to go through. And like I said, there's winners, right? So
you got to start open for them.
You're the six-man in the elimination chamber. And so we bring you out, you get through it, and you get off the practice journey. And this one, Auntie was telling me at the last training, because we had a training session, and I said, I'm not at their home already? Bye. No, I'm not a homeowner. I'm not a player with the landlord.
You play with the landlord.
No.
Like, hey, can I also pay you in tilapia?
Can I how much is that? 900, how about 700? This is like 100 in tilapia. And 100 on leafy greens. So I'm going to play with my fish disappearing. I looked at it and it was gone. The water was clean, but the fish was gone. And I said, I don't know. It was the micro Sunday. Literally, we went to like all these guppies and all these other creatures down to one. And then one day, see Herman, Herman was nowhere to be found.
Jumped out.
It's fairly easy to, and I feel comfortable. Yeah, but I remember the training and at the same time, it's just going to be me.
So you got to be careful with government corruption.
That's right. You told me, and now I found out. That's not me. How come you're only saying the same thing as all of us? And you know me, I'm going to throw this.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's a little bit of Wednesday. Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. Thursday. My bad.
Okay. And then mostly Thursday, September 17th.
Wednesday.
So that's going to happen on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, of course, it's cultural cleanup. You've done that before.
Yes.
Everybody just go to the beach.
We're talking to Mr. Thirteen on Thursday.
Love that. So our group is going to be celebrating over at Avenue, that beach all the way down to Paseo, I believe. Okay. So you can come and walk down there, or if you can go inside bathing. Then you can use turtle teams. They're going to be at the 15 more turtle habitat.
What time is the meeting?
I believe it's 6 o'clock to 2.
So you're going to be at 6 a.m. at Avenue, and then you're going to start walking?
Yeah.
How do you get back to Avenue? Walk back?
Just to finish the parade.
That's not that far of a walk, but yes. Maybe you go up one, you go, what is it, northbound, picking up traffic, and then southbound, no? You go one foot.
It's on the ground. Okay. So now thinking of, this is not the first line. This is not the first line. It's not tricky. It's 100% type of cleanup, I'll tell you right now. Like, you're looking at me like, what, man? Look at my child. It's one of those situations, right? Because depending on where it's at, there's just tracks from like acres of regions. Not like
really?
The way is washing up. It's crazy. And I'm like, why does it do this?
I believe it because there are trapped islands all over the Pacific.
Right? And so that's always a mind-boggler for me. So that nothing but funny.
And we have microplastics too.
That's a problem. And then we have some workshops at the Makerspace. Rose today was going to be teaching a pre-class to children so beautiful. So we're going to teach them very much that. And check with some, what is the word? I'm using textiles.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that,
the wife has some of her textiles.
doing the weaving.
Okay.
So that's like long-term, long-lasting weaving. And then to wrap up, we're going to welcome in October. For the first week of October, we're going to be doing another tree planting up at Uki. So a lot of fun, a lot of ways to stay sustainable this September, but also we wanted to push bridge that out and do more in the season.
I saw the iguana, the time painting, a mural.
It's on your down, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. What do you mean? One like that? What? You can do that? You can make that happen? But so that one I enjoy very much. As soon as you're making that one turn from Sunny Bay, you feel it, it's recognizable. You park where you can see the southern mountains and you can get a really good shot of that. But then Brightside Drugs, you guys did one that is unbelievable.
I love the one also down in Amman. Have you seen the one across like up the street and the one where everybody's spray painted?
That's everywhere.
Like across from the
I haven't seen it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah?
And commentary too. See, all of our artists from the art tour, like, I thought they were just gonna like do something simple. But now when I look at them, like, man, you're looking at art concert. I see it.
Okay.
Half of the ocean is blue and the other half is white.
So it's on the Napa side?
It's on the Napa side. Yep, there's that one there. And then my other favorite is down in Guam, like behind the old Bank of Guam, like you're going towards the
I haven't seen that. I haven't had an opportunity to pull in to see it for all of its beauty, right? But from Route 14, you can kind of see that that's a new mural.
In around on post,
okay.
I just did the whole bathroom.
Oh, heavenly. So now it's worth going into the bathroom?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
Those are pictures you took
outside? Okay. Do you have any more coming up? Or
all of them are meals for that. So we've got one in every single village.
Really?
Every single village. We're going to order to the public and start in school.
I've seen the one in Zotnia.
Yeah.
That's up. Yes, I see that one.
Down in Alexu, it's after Alexu Mart.
I've seen that.
And
look at all yours. Okay. I thought on the
all of SDG. I think that's for the Ganya Shopping Center. Joanne did one over there in the bathroom. Right across from the detail one. And that one, and then we have the one at Small Village.
What do you know in Hagen?
And there was a bucket in the village. It was somebody, one of our artists did a beautiful painting and put it to his on his number for the Lucian Hagen.
Okay.
And so it's about family.
Where in Hagen?
It's on the road, like towards the back. I take the left before Santa Rita.
Oh, really? Over there?
In the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really, really cool. And then, of course, in Slovenia, it's across from the Payless. It looks like the Final Machine.
Really? Really?
Yeah. Okay. Really, really cool. So, you know what? We're working on some stuff like that. So, this is that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It's really, really nice. And shout out to all of us for participating in that. Easter Gardenia, we got another one in Community, like you mentioned, at Rexall. Bologana is over at the community center.
Okay.
Yep, so right where the old basketball court, and the small one. And so it's really, really nice. Big fun.
Well, I appreciate you just coming by and weathering this rain and stuff. You were saying how traffic is pretty rough right here.
I like when people drive slow.
Yeah, we were talking about people driving too fast, and it can be very dangerous.
I got dogs on them. Remember, did I tell you about that? I got dogs on the back road. I get the show one morning when I was leaving the show. I dropped my nephew because my nephew also makes me to film on the show. And so I told my sister, I'm just dropping home. So I dropped him home over there by the sun. I drove up to what the iPhone was McFresh Road. So I went out McFresh Road. I went towards Arapao. And I went out road. And now when I return to Ladora to go up to Road Green, I just feel like, what? I was like hardcore.
I thought they were just riding you, but they actually hit you.
Yeah, totally. And so, I thought that. And that's like, for me, like, I realized, I think it's like so many things. I just wanted to make it feel okay. Everything worked out, it's fine. And I didn't mind can't handle it, so everything goes to through. But
yeah, but you're gonna feel it when it goes up when you train it.
my father's food. They're still, you know, they're like, you know, you're this, hold on, I'm checking my mouth. Can you call back later? And so, that's funny. Like you said, I feel like they weren't intending to ram anybody, but everyone got the best tires. Everybody rides those things until you can hear it, you know? And so, it's great.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it like not they were on their phone or something? Or
No, I think it was just
you were slowing down and they didn't realize that you were slowing down.
Yeah, so the thing is, it wasn't even a person that was like directly behind me. Like I think they closed the investigation for about it. But like out of this, like I got into the turning lane and then the person behind me was a big truck, like hardcore, like in tire, like, you know, by the destination. And they were not behind me, but the person behind them, I guess, was speeding down from the Fast and Furious road, like first road golf course, and you get around the Hawaii Rock, and you're like, watch me, right? And so it flew up, and they hit the back tire of the big truck, knocked the axle out, to the axle on the big truck.
So there's not even a thunder button. You just survived.
And so we knocked the axle at the back of the truck, and then spun around and whacked me.
Dang!
And so, yeah, my car wasn't as messed up as the axle on the truck.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I smashed it, like,
Yeah.
under, like, the generic, like, you know, hot waste.
Yeah.
The one that comes with the gum. And then it's not got the place. And so that happened. And then, like, for me, I was looking at it, I'm just like, I drive slower now, obviously, but not because I'm scared of my driving, it's just like, man, I really wasn't expecting it.
Right.
I did that.
That's why I feel my kids drive, right? And it's great that they're, you know, that they can go to wherever they need to go, and it's not as inconvenient anymore. But I'm always worried about them on the road. You know? Yeah. And then especially when we see these releases coming from GPD, that's the first thing. What's the license plate? What does it look like? I'm always looking at that stuff, yeah.
It's crazy. And my daughter's not even in a rush. She's like, I'm not going to do that. She's 16, so
That's what I tell my kids. I'm like, there's no need to rush anywhere. Just take your time, please.
No, I mean, she doesn't want to drive. No.
Well, then it's going to be inconvenient for you.
So he like here's our Uber driver, and he's also our good to go.
There you go.
Because it's my work for get to go. I'm telling you, I'm paid to go get food. I'm sorry, that's 30% discount on your charge. It's not for you. I understand. Thank you what you put up. I'm not talking. But in that case, I mean, they're older now. I'm women with fiancé.
Wow.
You're not even baby, bro. No, this is catch-up season. I didn't realize it's still on the air.
I'm jealous of you.
So I'm going to be
wait to be a grandpa. You're going to be a grandpa.
I'm going to be the mythical, on Guam, 39-year-old grandpa.
Good for you. I'm so happy.
I am too. Thank you. I'm super about to adopt a baby.
I'm so happy. You're about to.
That's my wife, baby. It's going to be your baby. That's weird, right? Like, I've been manifesting this like crazy. I looked online, I said, I can pull out whatever that is. What is that?
No.
Pull out a vaccine. There's a thing that's running like ads in the paper and everywhere. Like an adoption edition down.
Really?
True story. I'm like, yeah. I open up the application and I'm filling it out and everything. I was into the first page. I was filling it out. Roll down in the plastic. You gotta take the bus. It doesn't happen anymore. And so, like, I was really, like, getting in the zone. And then I come home from a trip, a work trip, and my hand was knocked out. And my son was leaned over and goes, and then the next morning, I woke up and what the heck?
You thought it was a dream?
I didn't realize. And then I was super excited when I, you know.
Okay.
And so yesterday, I got the first, yeah, it's true. they only, because we were facing over there, just signing.
Wow.
Signing. Yeah, that's really awesome. And I'm excited. What about you? Huh?
They don't want it. I'm ready.
Yeah. You think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. I told my son, I said, I'm going to go find a million comfortable about that. And I'm going to have a baby. I don't know how much that's going. But then I want your baby and my baby to grow up together.
Yes.
So that the uncle or the auntie is the same age.
Yes.
But all of those people, whatever our families do.
I think I scared my oldest too much because that's what I'm telling you. I was like, don't you dare have a baby. Me and your mom aren't done yet. And your baby's going to be playing with my baby. I think I scared him now. Now I'm not baby.
One cousin was you know the doctor. Yeah, growing up, she's the same age as my kids and all my nieces and nephews. And so everything was like, Uncle, and still, Uncle was like, Uncle. I'm like, Uncle, Mark. I'm like, Uncle, you were like, girl. And so this is something that was happy. And so he was like, something. And he was like, I want to go down there and medicine. You guys. And so he picked out a baby like a year after my daughter, or before my daughter. And so this whole time they're growing up, she's like alone by herself. There's other cousins like that age, so she's hanging with the nephews. But she's calling uncle. And my old uncle, my old uncle, I'll share them for them. We kind of just kept it rolling, but I love that about Guam. I love that people like, oh, that's not honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, we're probably just going to have this conversation again when we go to break. So. But I definitely want to make sure that we thank our sponsors and then just thank you and everybody that's doing such amazing work over at UOG's Center for Outer Sustainability and the Sea Grant race. And they're just, you guys are really pumping out a lot, not just in September, all year round,
It's a lot of work, and we just got to do it together. So, again, our intention is not to do the work like for everybody. That's not how we can live. It's not sustainable. We want people to come out and learn with us. So, if you're interested in aquaponics, come out. If you're interested in learning how to grow your own food, come join us. If you're interested in learning how to recycle your goods and something else and starting a business, go for that too. This goes to students, it goes to people who are looking for new opportunities. Our conservation part, all walks of life are in that. We're going to be graduating our 5th season. This week as well, this Friday. We're already 5 years in, isn't that cool? And so,
we started around the pandemic.
Yeah, we've had retirees coming there. We've had kids who are just coming out of high school. We've had college kids taking a break, want to, move into different states.
Right.
So there's always opportunities to be involved with Guam's future and sustainability, and everybody's welcome.
And some of the neighboring islands are also wanting to do what you're doing, right?
Yes, sir. So actually, mine's got things up and running. It's called I'm just Guam Green Growth. There's a cinnamon rose. And so my 3, no, it's not. It's called cinnamon rose.
I'm like, wow. That's very creative. Let that ride. I'm about to Google it.
So we've got theirs, and then Marshall Islands has theirs.
And Palau, right?
And then Palau Green Growth also up and running. So it's really exciting.
Nice, yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll take a break. And in the 5 o'clock hour, I know we got Regine Biscoli coming in, the president of the Guam Visitors Bureau. Going to be hanging out with us as well. Right here on the bright side, even though it's not so bright outside.
Oh, now here.
Yeah. This is a Ryan, 5.1 FM. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, here we go. Before we return back to the sky, we're going to get into very, very good traffic report. It's a big shout out to Chris. Going out to amazing friends. Thank you so much, Chris, for the day. Over the ground, energy is here. If you cannot today, you can download that app. And of course, that's where we're at. This guy says from download the way from energy is here. You can download the way from Iron Star. You can check them out today. Then you can have your or if you're just going to see the button on the line available for you, you can definitely
Here we go. We're going to take a look at those national headlines right about now here on Wave. And that's being brought to you by our friends over there on McDonald's of Guam. Be sure to go and check them out, my friends, at McDonald's. They're taking care of you. Of course, with the delicious fall flavors like the pumpkin skin pie or that pumpkin spice drink. You can go and get that. It's available for you at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in our national headlines. CBS News believes Israel's defense minister says Gaza is burning after strikes overnight. Here at home, the U.S. says it struck another Venezuelan drug boat. CBS's Tony Daggett reports.
Comes as F-35 stealth fighter jets arrive in Puerto Rico, part of the growing military buildup in the region, joining at least 8 U.S. warships already there.
Charlie Kirk's suspected assassin will appear in court today. FBI Director Pat Patel tells Fox and Friends.
The DNA kits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
The Trump administration says it's going after left-leaning groups that claims incite violence. Attorney General Pam Bondi at the White House. Amendment is one of our most important amendments, of course, in our Constitution. We will always protect the First Amendment. But you cannot create violence, and that's what's happening.
But in the day, people in Cuba, don't forget to touch the Brightside. Every weekday afternoon from 2 to 6 on Wave 105. From Kirkland to BBC, with its happening on Island, we're breaking it down with island leaders, business models, and news. We want to thank so much to our correspondents, Michael Pack, Michael Hope, DCI, Sarah Williams, King, Stevens, and Subway. Take a break from all that stage and go to the Brightside on Wave 105. It's 2060, ready? We know every song, and 105 is going to turn over to the music from the song. Now, the music person is here, and it's in time to put it on. You are every time to put it on, and then put it on the song.
As something cool offers premier services and complete interior cleaning and VIP seating. To keep you cool, South Ocean offers flat
877. The news and important things free for me once here.
I'm Larry David with the Connect Safely report. If you're setting up a phone for a young child, be aware that both iOS and Android have lots of built-in tools to limit what the child can do with that device. Connect Safely Education Director Terry Gallagher has thoughts on what types of things parents might let their kids do or not do.
They don't need all of the features at once right away. They don't need necessarily the ability to write email, the ability to get on social media, the ability to watch YouTube, the ability to do research. They might need the ability to text you and text their friends. They might need the ability to learn how to set alarms or set a to-do list for themselves.
More, including steps on how you can set parental controls, and the full Doing Tech Right podcast with Terry at connectsafely.org/radio. With the Connect Safely report, I'm Larry Magid for CBS News.
Toy shortages this holiday shopping season are inevitable, say industry experts, mostly because of tariffs. I'm Jeff Corbin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. The CEO of the U.S. Toy Industry Association says there will be
Guam wins World Health and I'm Cooper Lawrence. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with President Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel to discuss Hamas and the remaining 48 months of the war. Our number one point is at the end of the negotiated trial of Hamas, we're going to do this line, and the longer that holds the property, we're going to work the U.S. has once again conducted a deadly strike in international waters. President Trump claimed it was one of Venezuelan cartel illegally transporting drugs. CBS News correspondent Kelly Gagana is at the Pentagon.
In a video posted by the president, a motorboat is floating in the water before being struck. The president called it a drug boat, and the 3 men aboard narco-terrorists. CBS's Nancy Cordes asked the president about the strike.
Do you plan to provide the tools that these were narco-terrorists who are on their way to the U.S.? Discord told CBS News that the Charlie Kirk shooting suspect allegedly confessed to a friend group on their platform that he was a shooter. The suspect will make his first court appearance on Tuesday. CBS's Anna Shepard.
The judge will likely ask the suspect if he understands the charges, and we might hear a plea that oftentimes that doesn't happen until a later hearing. At this time, it's unclear if the suspect has retained an attorney. If he has not, the court will appoint an attorney to defend him.
CBS's business analyst Joe Schlesinger says Tuesday's Federal Reserve two-day policy meeting will mainly focus on jobs and the economy.
The Fed has two main goals: to try to ensure that the economy grows by enough to create a job for anyone who wants a job, and also to make sure that price pressures, inflation, are contained. Right now, those two goals are coming into conflict. We know that the labor market is certainly slowing down at the same time that inflation has begun to tick up.
According to Columbia ruled that Meta was wrong to shut down a famous porn star's Instagram account. Here's CBS News reporter Christopher Keys.
The court ordered Meta to change its privacy policies after ruling that it trampled Esperanza Gomez's freedom of expression. Meta argued that she had violated Instagram's rules on nudity. She said she'd only posted photographs of herself in her underwear.
President Trump said in a post on Truth Social platform that he'll be filing a $15 billion defamation and libel suit against the New York Times. While he did not provide any specific details, in the past he has accused the Times of lying about him, his family, and his businesses.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I'm paying my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in big trouble.
They're going to take your house, put them in your bank account, attorneys can pay. They don't care if you have to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Rate, a leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
The tax they tell me, the economy down, they made me feel comfortable and trust.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't realize anymore, and I'm ready to live the comfortable life, particularly very life. It's because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you are the IRS, don't go to get Optima Tax call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6450, 800-343-6460, 800-343-6460.
Library of Congress was named the new poet laureate. 74-year-old French poet Arthur Zhu received the honor and has been appointed to a one-year term starting this fall. He's the author of 12 poetry collections and last year received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the library.
All three is a social language. It is essential to me as breathing.
His new role is loosely defined as kind of a literary ambassador to quote, raise the national consciousness to a greater appreciation of the reading and writing of poetry. Stephen, CBS News, Washington. Emmy Awards saw a ratings boost, about 7.4 million viewers watched the 77 prime Emmy Awards on CBS. It's the most watched Emmy since 2021. That's an 8% increase from the previous year when it was on ABC. But the TV landscape has changed so much from 2000 that was when 22 million people tuned in.
All right, welcome everybody to the 5 o'clock hour. As you know, it's the rush hour traffic. And we got the rain against us. But you know what? Working together, I know we can get through this traffic easily. And seriously, that's the goal every single day, right? Okay, big shout out to our friends over at Guam Auto Spa. You can check them out online, guamautospa.com. You can see what they have in their inventory, and you can also check out, schedule your test drive today. So big shout out to our friends at Guam Auto Spa. We also want to thank our fans over at Mobile and Guam Energy Rates here. Download the app and get your rewards today. That's right, with our friends at Mobile. Alrighty, so here we go. Taking a look at rush hour traffic. Everybody's kind of getting into your car right now. Going to find out what's happening on these streets. Now, right now it's okay. I just want to say that first and foremost, okay? It's okay, but I know as we progress to the 5 o'clock hour, we can expect traffic to go up at the main intersections. We're talking about here in Haggadah, here in Chimene, near the road that leads to the hospital, and then as we move forward, the ITC intersection, the JFK intersection, anything moving northbound, you'll definitely be caught up in a lot of traffic. But like I said, that's as our progresses. But right now, things are pretty okay. A lot of traffic here and there at the LTC intersection, and even at the intersection that leads to the hospital. It seems like there's more heavy traffic for those who are coming out of Airport Road and trying to get into Airport Road. If you're concerned about the line at the intersection, maybe you just want to continue straight through. It's not very long, so you get through easily. Let's see, in Harmon, it is just a bit busy there at the Harmon Loop Road intersection. So you don't want to look for too much traffic there. Maybe just initially at the intersection, but honestly, as soon as the light turns green, I know everything will kind of clear up. Let's see what else. There's okay. Not much traffic there, which is awesome. The mall intersection, though, always got some kind of traffic going on, and it's located northbound. And then let me just triple check all the way our friends in Vigo, see what's going on there. In front of the supermarket there, right? Energy, I'm talking about as you get, you pass the sign and you're really in the Ville. You have the supermarket there, you can have one of your favorite fast food restaurants. It's definitely busy in front of those places, so please be on the lookout if you're heading northbound towards Vigo.
Other than that, everything else is looking okay. Down south is all right. Let me just double check here. Okay, good. We're good down south. And that's pretty much it, guys. Just whichever way you're headed, continue to drive safely and continue to keep it locked here. Once again, this is the Real Deal Traffic Report. On the other side, we will continue with the Brightside here on Wave 105.1 FM.
From the National Weather Service and with the Guam Power Authority. National Preparedness Month is here. Preparedness starts at home. Also, preparedness can have water, food, housewives, first aid, family, as a snack for the kids. Great. Now in the hand, check in with a neighbor, especially with an uncle, and make sure their kid is ready to. Preparedness is for the family and the shots and home. NWS and GT, preparing for them to do. For more tips, visit va.guam.com and follow GT on Facebook and on Instagram.
They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105.1 Lincoln Media or any of our partners. As we try to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105.1 from Splendid Global. Enjoy the show. Here we go, everybody. Happening. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're checking in with the Brightside once again in the 5 o'clock hour. It's all being brought to you by friends at Chili's. Actually, more life, great food, and great value happening here. We want to thank our friends with the Code School of Guam. Learn, code, and lead the island's first coding boot camp. Your future and tough begins with us at Code School of Guam. We also want to thank our friends over there at GTA. We start with you. Thank you to our friends over there at Subway. You got to refresh to be fresh. Visit them online, subwaypacific.com. Place your order, and you'll go ahead and pick that up at your convenience, or you can get it delivered to you. It's powered by Good to Go. We deliver. Big shout out to our friends at Micro Pack as well. If you're looking for the latest in technology, great. We're more than happy to help you out. You can check them out at their 2 locations in the Micro Mall, or you can check them out on Challenge San Antonio and Winning. We also want to give a thank you to our friends over there. Big shout out to our friends at Sherwin-Williams. Rain's coming fast, as you may see. And if you're not ready, no problem. You can visit Sherwin-Williams and fill your roof with Sherwin-Williams silicone roofing. It's engineered for Guam's toughest weather, from blazing sun to pounding rain. Protect what matters to you, and that's Sherwin-Williams. We also want to thank our friends at Sentinel Security Solutions. They're Guam's provider of professional-free services, delivering operational excellence in protective services across commercial, industrial, and residential sectors. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Brightside here on Wave 105.1 FM.
All right, welcome back. The Brightside here on Wave 105. We're online at wave105.com as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. And so if you're tuned into our YouTube, you'll see our guest in studio from the Guam Visitors Bureau, the president of GVB, Regine Despolie, and then also recent director of research, Kristen Valencia. Thank you guys for both coming in. I appreciate the opportunity to learn more about how tourism is impacting our daily lives.
Yeah, absolutely, Polly. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. And so you guys have this report that has been, it just came out yesterday?
It just came out, yeah. So we actually, we've worked with Tourism Economics, which is an Oxford economics company, for many years.
Okay.
But we had to take a little bit of a pause shortly after the pandemic. And so this is the first report that we've had in several years, and this report kind of goes through everything for this full calendar year of 2024.
So that's why when Lisa Bergala, your PIO, sent us a hyperlink, 22 and 23 was missing, right?
Right. So we were able to pay for the report, in those years.
Sure.
We haven't had a report since 2021, I believe. But if you have any questions about what we're discussing, you can check us out online at guambusinessbureau.com. Download the report, get a little bit more information. But, happy to talk to you about everything that's in it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate this. And so, obviously, we go back to 2019, like the golden era, right? I would even say maybe even some of the early 2000s, we really were seeing, so many benefits, right? And so many of our visitors coming and seeing what Guam has to offer. Unfortunately, the pandemic happened, and so looking at this report, when you compare it, we're nowhere close to 2019. But what I do see in this report is how tourism is impacting everybody's life, right, in so many ways, and how much it gives back to government services, right? And so maybe we can kind of break that down into direct and indirect impact.
Yeah. Just in terms of visitor arrival numbers, right? So we had about 327,000 folks come to visit Guam in 2022, so just coming out of the pandemic. And then about 657,000 in 2023. And then we got hit with the Typhoon Mara. Not a great, time for us, but we're still able to secure about 740,000 visitors in 2024. And so that's what this report kind of details. And I'll let you get into that a little bit, but in terms of the number of visitors, they spent about $1.1 billion here in our economy. So that's billion with a B. That's a lot of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, even when I look at the dailies, right? When I look at how much...
$3.1 million spent every single day. So, it's a significant amount of money.
Yeah, and that's just direct spending.
Right.
Okay, so that direct spending by our visitors and specific, or in our tourism-related industries like lodging, retail, food and beverage, and transportation, that direct spending also translates into what we call indirect spending. So all of these industries that these visitors have spent in, they also spend in their supply chain.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going to look at that and stuff. Yeah. And even with the direct and indirect spending, from there that also creates some household income, or what we call induced income, so that's additional spending by our households, right? People, our own people here in Guam.
So when you think about that all in, it's $1.4 billion. Yeah.
Right.
So it's just tremendous amount of money.
I mean, so that just tells me that this is still an industry that we should continue to invest in because it is giving back into our coffers.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things, we came before the legislature just a few weeks ago, and we were talking about, kind of the future for Guam. And a lot of our revenue sources and revenue generators. So tourism really is the only revenue generator for the government of Guam. And we also have federal money that's being poured into the island in terms of military construction spending and spending on the military build-up. But, we're talking about housing and a number of other things that we're looking forward to over the next few years. But after a certain amount of time, probably that really is going to plateau and then drop off. There's only so many buildings you can build on a sunny island, right? At a certain point, you're tapped out. And so we really need to be thinking about today, investing today in that future potential, and there's no other mature industry that's ready and ready to absorb all of that labor and has the infrastructure to be able to pick up. And we want a future for Guam where we're self-sustaining. We don't want to have to rely on ultrasound for handouts all along the way. We want to be able to fend for ourselves.
I think also when we look at some of the government agencies and balancing a budget and whatnot, and when they come in and they're saying, this is actually bare bones. And maybe they're meeting that, but there are some agencies that aren't quite getting what, when we look at GMH and we look at yeah, absolutely. And so how do we assist in getting a balanced budget more where we have to look at more jobs? And so when I look at the tourism industry, how many jobs are we providing? And so not just directly, but I would say even indirectly, right? And I would say you are providing police officers, you're providing firefighters from this tourism industry, right? To put more police officers on the street to protect us, to put more firefighters on the streets, to buy more fire trucks and ambulances.
Yeah, this report is really based on what we call our tourism satellite account. So it's not just tourism in the tourism industry, but all the tourism adjacent industries that are impacted by tourism itself.
So you're talking about fine arts, communications. I mean, people just when they get on the island, they want to, use their data and make calls. They're going to spend money. They're going to use all these different kinds of services. They use wholesalers, all the supply chain that Christian was mentioning.
And that's a total of 14,000 jobs supported by the tourism industry. Direct, indirect, and induced jobs.
One stat that's really cool in this report, I was looking at it, it says 14,000 people would fill Paseo Stadium 11 times. So you're talking about 11 Paseo Stadium full of people. Like all of the different jobs that are impacted and supported by our tourism industry. So, huge shout out to all of it. When you think about tourism, right, and the DHRA just recently celebrated a housekeeping gala. You think about those people on the front lines, right? Housekeepers, bellhop concierges, front desk staff, people in the restaurants, people who are middle management in hotels, all across the different regions, right? Small businesses that are impacted by tourism. But there's so many, different ripple effects, right? And it's really tremendous across our economy, and it makes a difference for, moms and dads that are coming off of work, picking up their kids, probably listening to the station, would be paying, upwards of $3,000 more in taxes every year if we didn't have tourism. So kind of boost. And that's a tremendous amount of money. Each household would be paying thousands and thousands of dollars more in taxes to be able to cover, as you said, the cost of our firefighters and our nurses and our teachers in the public schools. So all of those things have an impact.
Yeah, this has a lot about the tourism industry itself. It's really, for the government, it's a revenue generator. So we can be spending a lot on tourism, but tourism will come back and provide all these tax revenues for us as well. So that we can pay for all the important things that we care about, education, healthcare, infrastructure.
As the director of research, are you also looking at where trends are now to assist with visitor experience as well? Once they hit the ground running, once they get out of the airport, how can they get their rental faster? How can they connect to our telecommunications here locally so that they can get the Wi-Fi and the internet services?
So we recently got our exit surveys up and running again, so we have them up at the airport and we're collecting some data for us and analyzing it. We're still pretty in the early stages, but we want to be able to maybe in a quarter or two provide like a quarterly or aggregation of it.
So we're basically asking folks, they're at the airport getting ready to leave back to their home countries. What was your flight? Where did you visit? Where did you spend the most time? How much did you spend? Where are you from? What's your annual household income? We ask them a ton of questions and then give them like a full free gift from DE. But that information, as you mentioned, is incredibly valuable to us because we want to always be delivering our products, and we want to improve our destination in a way that benefits not just our visitors, but every single resident of the island.
Because I know when the report came out last month, right, and they were saying where are they staying, where are they going, what are they doing, and they're finding that they are wanting to venture out. We are seeing more independent visitors, right? And so when I think about my family, we're not going for a travel agent. We're doing all of this online. So I'm thinking they're thinking the same way. Their needs are my needs when I'm going to Japan or Korea, the Philippines. And so what is it that I need right away? Well, I need transportation. I need that Wi-Fi immediately. Sometimes I'm even connecting to Wi-Fi and getting access to my eSIM while I'm still on the plane. Oh, yeah. Right? And so... I think even for as Guam Visitors Bureau, we're partnering with all of these businesses that are all investing in Guam. And so how do we get our visitors to get these resources and get these services, but paying local companies or businesses that have invested? So that money goes right back into our general fund. And so I'm sure that's hard work, but it's meaningful work, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you think about the end consumer, right? It's every single one of us. It's all of our neighbors and, the people that live down the street from us and how them and unemployment community will be impacted by this. And when you think about, improving schools and improving our hospitals, so many important priorities. And I'm really proud to be able to support an industry that's going to be bringing improvements to all of those very, very important priorities.
Because I think even our local telecommunications, right there, I think they're great, but they're competing with outside entities too. And so when I think of eSIMs, right, they're competing with them. And so I would hope that they would consider when they're here for a short time that they're connecting to IT&E or GTA or Docomo, right? And not just that, but your taxi providers, Stroll and whatnot. There's so many opportunities to where when we look at the money here per, what was that number you gave out per day? The $3 million per day? Anybody that's doing business in Guam can tap into that $3 million per day. And it can only go up, I think, in 2019. What was it, $1.8 billion? Yeah.
We're going to run it back again. I'm really sure. This is a 2024 report, and, it's 740,000 visitors. We're really doing everything we can to exceed that number this year. And so in 2025, we're having a number of conversations with different airlines and trying to get that seat capacity up so that we can fill those planes and make sure that we have a really downer last quarter of the year. Really looking at trying to focus on the Korean market, but many other different markets as well. And there are a lot of really exciting things happening in that space. As we speak, there are a bunch of new routes that are being considered, and just a lot of opportunity. We're seeing the potential new hotel development in Suman. So when you think about all of those things, it really does show that people outside of Guam are looking at us and seeing our island as a potential opportunity for growth. And we want to make sure that if this is not going to be moving forward, we want to be leading and we want to be at the table when all of these things are discussed. We want our decisions to be sustainable, and we want it to benefit every single one of our residents to the maximum amount possible. We want increased local participation in the industry, like we're seeing every Sunday at the Suman Market. You see, 60 plus vendors selling their, local products, or, with these food trucks that have this amazing culinary experience, and you get these local residents being able to mix in with our visitors from many different countries out there, Asia and the Pacific, and it's a really beautiful thing. We want to keep that going.
You know what I'm really happy to see? I'm so happy that the YTE Smith police station is right down in Suman. And so, if we can get the best police cars, the ones that look, you know,
The best?
down there, because
Let's talk to the chick about that.
because absolutely. They want to take a picture with the Guam Police Department seal. And sometimes with a motorcycle, I don't care if it's even like no gas in it. You know what the motorcycle is? Sit on it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and, you know, even an officer in uniform, any officer in uniform is tremendous. And then we had the Guam Fire Department down there with, I think, maybe it was an engine or an ambulance, and people are allowed to take pictures with these firefighters. So, yeah, it's a cool experience. And very, I mean, that's something that you probably do with your kids if you're, you know, in Japan or in Korea. You see a police officer go, they look so cool, their uniform looks so cool. You have to go with them.
And I'm more than willing to.
That would be so cool, but I don't want to be a criminal real quick. I don't know about that until I'm looking at this color and my fun toys and my son. Probably the first one, I would definitely, that's interesting. What was your question? Let's talk about it.
Well, it's a fun thing, and we talked about, we created a model to provide healthcare and first aid kits to outer islands using train.
Amazing.
So Charlie takes the students to the campaign. Yeah, okay.
There you go, Professor Hermosa. Nice, what's up? Center 5, sir.
Well, Christian is a professor too now, right?
He's a content professor at the Institute of
the introductory economics course there. It's been
very good. So then you know how all of this works then, and obviously you see the purpose, how GVB affects our economy positively, right? Yeah.
I think the only way.
Well, tourism affects us positively through the conduit of GVB, right?
Mm-hmm, that's exactly right. And there, you know, we have so many different people that thank for the results of this survey. As I mentioned, all of the people that are working day in and day out in our hotel industry and our tourist industry, you know, giving people that holiday spirit and that total Guam experience. All of our tour operators, just everybody who's doing it, the great folks at PVB. And, you know, definitely my predecessors, because I wasn't in this position in 2024, so I definitely want to give a shout out to everybody who's been working with GVB and all of our stakeholders, all of our board members, and, you know, just members of the legislature who continue to support us and our missions. We really want to be able to do more. We hear a lot of the concerns and the feedback about things being safe, about things being clean. And yeah, that's definitely part of our mandate. We want to make sure that when we get folks here and they arrive here, they have a great experience.
Well, ever since I can even just, you know, if I go as far back as kindergarten, I don't remember a time when tourism was not our priority, right? Or this is our vehicle for a thriving economy. And so I'm sometimes baffled when I hear some of the conversation that's just saying, you know what, we need to move on. Move on to what? Right? I mean, we can't.
It is interesting. Some of these people, I mean, who knows who they are, right? They're commenting about this. And everybody's feedback is really important. That's why you do talk radio. It's like, you know, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what the community has to say. But yeah, it's like, okay, here we are bringing solutions to the table. And, you know, we're being shouted down by people with absolutely no solutions. And so I'm just, what's your big idea? Please bring it forward to the table so that we can discuss it and hopefully support it if it's good. But if it's not, then why would we, you know, and with that outbreak about the goose that lays the golden eggs, we don't want to abandon that. You know, it's been an incredible producer for us over these years. And when you think about it, all the investment that's really poured into our island, do you think that we would have a Gondon donkey if we didn't have tourism? Do you think that our local residents would be able to, you know, at the end of the school year, have their kids go to a PSG water park at the end of the, you know, year if we didn't have tourism? you think that we would have the kind of airport activity if tourism wasn't our number one driver? Do you think our folks would be able to fly to the Philippines or fly to Taipei to get, healthcare service if we didn't have tourism? Like, think about it a day without tourism, and it'll be hard pressed to think about how we could possibly survive on this island. And can we improve? Absolutely.
And I would even say that people would question, well, Guam's not as unique. I go back to think the Kim family that runs the Inalahan market.
Oh, man.
They love to travel, right? And that's how they found Guam. They found Guam through traveling, and they said, you know what, we're going to retire, and we're going to live the rest of our lives in Guam. Exactly. So maybe, yes, there's a lot to critique. There's a lot that we can call out. However, there's a lot that we can do together to find the next thing. Or even just anybody that wants to spend 3 days here.
I was, before I started here at the DVD, I was part of a research project and a research team that was really looking at tourism recovery. And we, as part of our task through the Bureau of Statistics and Plans, we went out and we went to different source markets and interviewed about 750 respondents. And we asked them, they didn't have to have come to Guam or even know where Guam was, but we just asked them about their travel behaviors. Like, what do you do when you look for a place to go? How often do you travel? What's your, annual household income? What are you looking for in a destination? And so many of them said, we're looking for an escape from our everyday lives. And so when you think about, why would they want to come to Guam? There's nothing there, and you have everything that you could want in Japan and Korea. But you want to talk about air quality? Let's talk about air quality in Bangkok. Look it up right now. The air quality index in Bangkok is terrible. All the time people have to go out with their face masks on. And when you blow your nose, you get good boogers. They want that. Come to Guam, our air quality index is pristine. Our water, when you walk into the beach, on Extreme Day, wherever you go, like the water is beautiful. Just crystal clear. You can't get that many other places. And especially with the proximity to Asia. So
the control zone 7 days ago. Declared pollution control zone.
It ain't true, let me tell you. And it's the same story in Manila. It's the same story in many of these populations.
General manager of Fish I was saying just recently that his mother or grandmother loved coming here in the summer because it is extremely hot in Japan. It's like because it's like a concrete jungle.
No breeze, no ocean breeze like we enjoy. But there are so many things, yes, absolutely, to improve about Guam, but there are so many things that make our island great. And I always say there isn't anything wrong with Guam that can't be fixed by what's right with Guam.
Sure.
So, there's so many incredible people that live on this island that make up our community, that really embody that Hokkaido spirit. And it makes my job really easy to be able to go out to these countries. I was just in Korea last week and tell them all about our culture and have people like Vince and his dance group, join me and help spread that Hokkaido spirit, share our stories, share our music, and, just invite them to come experience it for themselves.
When you do the research, is the influencer partnership still a thing? Are we doing really well with that?
Yes, absolutely. Think about just you as a consumer. What do you do when you're, you're bored at home, you're scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, and you're looking for...
I'm looking for somebody that has gone to somewhere I'm going to go in 2 months from now.
Right, absolutely.
Independent traveler, right?
And so connecting with those people and having them help us tell the story is important. One of the things that we're looking to do also in fiscal year 26, so in just a few short weeks, is really taking some of those off-island influencers in our source market and pairing them with local influencers so that we can have collaborations and have increased amplification of their algorithms and to have that cross-pollination.
What can we do for our local influencers?
100%. Again, the two main goals drive arrivals, but also increase local participation in our industry. Because if we're not benefited, then why the heck are we doing this?
I saw you today at the governor at the conference because of the partnership with
Guam City. That's right. So the mayor of Guam City is showing down. If you guys see him around, please give him a round half a day and a hello. My state to sign an MOU with the island of Guam. They're so excited to be here. And let's talk a little bit about Guam City. So actually, Guam City is really big into agribusiness. So there's a lot of, they're growing a lot of things in this area, but they also are a home hub of algae and salmon.
Yeah,
so there's a ton of innovation going on there, really exciting part of Korea, but part of the MOU also is to encourage cultural exchange and tourism with people from Guam City to come here to Guam. So, it's really interesting. I had an opportunity to share a meal with him. Really, there's a lot of synergy there. There are a lot of similarities. And, they're always teasing. They're like, oh, yeah, and her husband's Korean. And my kids are Korean. And my kids, Korean is one of my lives. You're speaking Korean. I'm like, singing Korean restaurant. So there's a backup plan later. Whatever needs to be done out of the way. Like, I'm done. Anything for an island, honestly. And it's really rewarding to be able to see some of these numbers come back, to know that, the economic impact is spread across industries. It's not only directly related to tourism, but it has that ripple effect going out into our entire community, and that's a really cool thing to see.
And you don't have to take our word for it. Take the word of tourism and economics.
But yeah, for anybody who's interested, download the report. It's on GuamVisitorsBureau.com. Take a look. If you have questions, you can give us an email at info@visitguam.com. Happy to field any phone calls or emails. If you have questions, direct them at Christian.
According to the report, tourism brought in $151 million in taxes, right? This means every Guam household saved about, like you mentioned, $3,444 in taxes. And so, again, we would be paying more out of pocket for these government services if we didn't see that $151 million. So.
$151 million, that's like, a 12th of the overall Good Farm budget.
Right.
So it's a pretty significant amount.
Right, and so it does share, even though we don't have, because we did not pay for the report, right? It does say 12.5% more than 2023. It's still, that's pretty good growth to see within 1 year, 12.3.
So 4.5 more visitors, and then we're seeing 6% more revenue than in 2023 as well. So not only is it
that we made for ourselves.
So we are, definitely, in terms of I think it was in between a conservative and moderate.
Okay.
And that was where we found ourselves for this year, but we're really trying to stick to the stars in this last quarter and see how we fare in 2025.
So your formula is working then. You are projecting, right? Pretty close to the numbers that you're saying that we need to hit, right, year after year.
What's 2024? Yeah, this is 2024. But, what's also great is, as these quarters are completing, then we can kind of adjust our forecast and share that with the business owners and let them know what we see on the horizon, where we see peaks, where we see value, so that they can adjust accordingly.
And these trends are changing sometimes daily.
Super dynamic. Right? We look at the load factors of incoming arrivals every single week with our folks over at the airport, and we have a weekly call to kind of, take a look every single flight that comes in, how many warm bodies are on that flight. Right. So you're looking at everything from Taipei to Philippines to Incheon to Busan to every single place that we fly in Nagoya, not Fukuoka anymore, right? Narita, Haneda, and 2 flights out of Osaka now. Both on Korea and United. So there's just a ton of different things to be looking at all times, and we're also, trying to support new markets as well. So really trying to diversify, not put all of our eggs in one basket, and make sure that our tourism industry is really strong.
And in the Philippines too, right? I know Senator Jessica Ramos putting out some information that they are really...
Stay tuned for that. Yeah, we should have an announcement in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Hopefully. We'll be going out there and just, trying to into that. So again, it just opens up maybe a new route for the Philippines, and if we're able to also convince the U.S. government to include Philippines on that visa waiver list, that's gangbusters for us. It completely changes the dynamic of our tourism industry. Pre-pandemic, it really was a focus on Japanese travelers. And so now we're seeing a shift. We're primarily a Korean market right now. But, anything can happen in the next 12 to 18 months, especially if, we get visa waiver. And there are some discussions. I know that the Lieutenant Governor has spoken with people, on the federal side, and we've also done what we can to try and push that when we're in D.C. speaking with our Congress member and, a bunch of other folks, both Congressman Whalen and Congressman King really to push CNMI bond visa waiver for the Philippines.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one always see how we have some challenging issues here. My heart goes out to our brothers and sisters in the CNMI.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is drastically, the valley is drastically deeper on their end.
And any opportunity that we have to bring them along, Governor Appleton is really focused on doing what we can to improve their economy, whatever we can do as a United Marianas, it's absolutely good. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for coming in. Is there anything else that I might have missed? I mean, because, again, some of these trends and factors, weather affects tourism, visitors, political climate.
Yeah. Many different things. It definitely keeps us on our toes, but thankfully, we really love what we do. We do this for the people of Guam, and we want to create opportunities for all of us to grow here. So I'm so good. And surprise my grandbaby that's coming. So excited about this, guys. When I heard that on the radio, I literally was like squeezing in the car. Congratulations.
And it's so weird, too, with life and whatnot, right? When I first joined the team on Power 98, and here we are over on Wave now after 11 years, and just having a conversation about wanting to be a grandpa. I'm like, I am going to start this. I'm so happy to also see you on the team. When I think it was just hearing on the budget. I'm like, Chris, that guy, that's perfect. There you go. That just shows how talented. We've got some very talented people doing some really good work in the government, in the private sector, in the tourism industry, from the hotels to entrepreneurs, to people at the airport, and people that are taking our visitors from point A to point B.
Oh, yeah.
And so all of it, when we come together and just come up with these solutions, and then also support each other, it goes a long way.
Absolutely. So, every time you're thinking about the way that you can make a difference and impact a visitor in a positive way, you should absolutely do that. I know Paul was talking about the Island Micro App that's coming up on Saturday, encouraging folks to get out there, not just this Saturday, but every Saturday. If you see something, bring an extra bag and pick things up at if it's trash, make sure that it's clean, not just for our visitors, but for
smiling is spring.
We need to bring that back.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We learned this. This is something that was taught to us at a very young age. We're so very hospitable. We're so very welcoming. We have the holiday spirit. Yeah, we don't need to reinvent much. We just have to hold on to our core values.
And let me tell you, when you go somewhere, anywhere else, outside of Guam, and you talk to visit, you're from Guam, and they, oh my God, you're born in Guam, and you go to school there? Yeah, I said, your people are so kind, so nice, like, wow, I've never been welcomed, I've never felt warmth like I have in Ireland.
It was a taxi driver that I had that I did not want to talk to. I was telling Reese this the other day. The taxi driver that was taking us from our hotel back to our airport, right? And so, like, in Korea? Yeah. And so, I'm like, thank goodness they don't speak English because I'm not really in the mood to talk to a complete stranger for an hour and a half. But he spoke English.
I think somebody else.
And he asked where we're from. And we said, Guam. And the drive was about an hour and a half, and it just flew by because of the interactions that he was having with people from Guam that were visiting Korea. And he gave us his card, too. And so somebody that will have pickups up there.
There you go.
Yeah. And there was another lady in Myeongdong that was wearing a Sushi Guam suit.
Yeah.
She was serving street food. And I asked her where she got the shirt. And she said she's never been to Guam, but somebody gave it to her. And she goes, I love Guam, and I've never been.
She needs to come. She needs to definitely come and visit us. We'll be happy to come. It really is. That's the unique selling point in, all of us.
Well, thank you so much. I have to invite you back to talk about this dance.
Well, let's just really quickly. You can check us out on visitguam.com/GIDF.
Right.
So it stands for Guam International Dance Festival. We're kicking it off the first ever December 5th to the 7th. We're looking at, both cultural and contemporary dance performances. A little bit of an stuff. So we're looking at, we already have registrations from Japan, from Taiwan, I believe one from Malaysia, and then I think 2 local dance groups have signed up so far. But yeah, we're really looking at, it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And, maybe we can go to the deadline is, I believe, in mid-October. And if we can get Paul and Reese out there, Dustin and Liz out there in the street of Tonight too. We'll see you. I've been working on these moves. Let me tell you, I need to start stretching this now.
Thank you so much for your commitment. I really appreciate having conversations. I always enjoy having conversations with you. And it's great to start having these conversations with you as well, Kristen. And I really appreciate not just your efforts, but your commitment to the industry. And so thank you for just having a conversation with us. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to all of your listeners. Everybody goes home safe. Drive careful. It's crazy out of these mean streets today, but we're going to get through it like we always said.
All right, we'll take a break, and we'll say goodbye in just a bit right here on Wave 105.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thanks so much. A big shout out to our friends from GVP hanging out with us today. And you know what? Look at that. They're going to be on the roadways with you as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening out there. Here's your real traffic report. It's all being brought to you by our friends at Guam Auto Spot. Get your out today. They're going to take care of you. You can visit them online at guamautospa.com. You can also check out download the app from our friends with their Mobile Order Guam. And if you're here, you can go ahead and download the app and start getting your rewards. Big shout out to Mobile. Taking a look at your real deal traffic right about now. I'll start where I'm at, which is here in the Borgata Heights area. And it's not busy here. That's really weird to say out loud. I'm a little scared because it's not looking busy. And I know, especially if you're headed towards like the DMV area, it can get kind of hectic. But it looks pretty okay, which is really great to see. Let's see where else. My goodness. I was expecting a lot more traffic, but we are close to the top of the hour, so maybe that's why too. It is pretty busy coming out from the Airport Road as well as heading into Airport Road. A lot of congestion there. You got your long line of cars already started at the intersection where Don is. Let's see where else. Havana, the typical loop is okay, not too bad. There is heavy traffic, though, for those who are trying to get out of Havana and up to Havana, where the mobile gas station is, right? So be expected, especially around 5:30. I feel like that's when it kind of starts to get long. That's a pretty long line. There's a lot of congestion, but just be patient, okay? Let's usual traffic around the Ashland area. Here in San Pablo, where me and San Pablo meet, it is just a little bit busy there as well. We've got lots of traffic. There's already a long line of cars from the intersection all the way down to the church there in San Pablo. So just be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, let's check down south. Okay, down south is okay. Way up north, how you doing, North? We're doing okay up north. And one more place, I'll call it out just because there's a lot of congestion. Again, this is excessive traffic, but I'm doing what I need to. At the mall intersection, there is a lot of traffic from the mall down, even past some of the residences there. So please just drive safely, go home whichever way you're headed, north, south, east, west, and continue to keep it locked here. Again, this is your Real Deal Traffic Report here on Wave 105.1 FM, and brought to you by Guam Oversight and Mobile Oil Guam.
Turn off your lights and come with me into the Weird Darkness. I'm Darren Marlin, the host of Weird Darkness, every Thursday night from 6 to 8 here on Wave 105.1. Every week in Weird Darkness, you'll hear 2 hours of stories of the paranormal, supernatural, legends, lore, crime, conspiracy, mysterious, macabre, unsolved, and unexplained. Weird Darkness, this Thursday night at 6 on Wave 105.1. Today, Guam, yep, it's me, the Guam Guy, and you can watch episodes of my podcast, The Guam Guy Show, not only on YouTube and Spotify, but every Friday at 11 on Wave 105 FM.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. We do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Brightside Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we invite you to participate in the conversation. So tune in to Wave 105 FM for Family Guam. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back. Even market is Tuesday, it's a gloomy Tuesday, right? But nonetheless, it's still bright inside here. As you join us on Wave 105 from 2 to 6 p.m., and so thank you so very much. Again, if you have a laptop open or even on your phone, you can check us out at wave105.com, as well as our YouTube channel, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. So I do have a short response. I'll get a more detailed response from the Office of the Governor. If Jason is still listening, or anybody that uses Guam Regional Transit Authority, and understanding that they don't have very many buses. What is it? 3 paratransit buses for the whole island, and then 4 buses for the public transit. There is a delay in procurement, and so far the procurement contract is with the Energy's office, and so that's the short answer, and we'll get a more detailed response from Guam Regional Transit Authority tomorrow. And so I really appreciate, again, Crystal Pacos and Augustine, who is like my go-to at the Office of the Governor as the Communications Director. She's going to get us the answer, yeah, and so I'll give you the response as soon as we get it, most likely tomorrow. And then our other PIO, a very good friend of ours, our former, well, he'll always be our colleague, right? Damon Michael Borja is telling us that is only a rumor. Concern came in from a parent from Keegan High, or Keegan or Simon Sanchez. I think Simon Sanchez, right? And so their child came home and said they're being told that next year there'll be double sectioning at Keegan High. So the superintendent says that is nothing more than a rumor. And so even when I said, well, okay, thank you for confirming that, is it still safe to say that we're on track to have Simon Sanchez High School and FBLG double sectioning by next school year? Simon Sanchez, if FBLG is open, for next school year, FBLG students would leave Lukadu High School, right, because they're double sectioning there, and they would go to their home school. Simon Sanchez would leave JFK and go and double section with FBLG. And so the consensus right now is even that too soon to say, and so we do have our current superintendent, Eric Swanson. He's not going to be with us for very long, right? So his last day is December 31st, and they are looking for a new superintendent. And we should be getting a new superintendent on January 1st of 2026. And when that superintendent comes in, it could be a whole nother initiative. And so we'll just leave it at that. And we'll continue to stay on top of it, obviously, and continue to share any new information with our audience. And speaking of which, I saw a statement that I never touched on. We never really got to it from, I think it was Senator Vince Borla's office. There is going to be an oversight hearing on GDOE. Let me see here. I thought I saw it. It's GDOE, and so they were talking about the search for a new superintendent. Where I saw it, let me see here. I don't see it now. I'm sure I'm going to find it at 6:01 p.m. when we go off to here. Like, I found it! You know what? I saw it on the Guam legislature. That's where I saw it. On their schedule. Supervisory Commission, Committee on Rules. I don't know. Yeah, see, so we're at 5:59. I knew it. I'm gonna find it at 6:01. So I'll just share with you tomorrow once I do find it. Time to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in with us from 2 to 6. We'll be back again tomorrow, right? So Mornings with Patty, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Vet Talk is on, so we do have Vet Talk with Uncle Donnie and Bobby, and also Charlie Hermosa is going to be in from 10 to 12, national programming, get to another Brightside. So essentially it's all 2 to 6, but we also want to thank the University of Guam Tomorrow Studies Program for sponsoring a 2-hour show on and tomorrow from 4 to 6 right here on Wave 105 with the Yacht Ron the Guatney. So that is happening tomorrow as well. Everybody get home safe, be kind to each other, especially out on those roads. Thank you.
Toy shortages this holiday shopping season are inevitable, say industry experts, mostly because of tariffs. I'm Jeff Calden of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. The CEO of the U.S. Toy Industry Association says there will be toys on the shelves, but many shoppers may not find what they want. The difficulties go back to April when the U.S. announced a 145% tariff on Chinese imports. That number has since settled on 30%, but the entire industry was on pause for 60 days of prime manufacturing, the Industry Association chief says. And there's only a certain amount of product you can force through a supply chain when you've missed about 60 days of manufacturing. But couldn't toys be made in the U.S.? The CEO of the U.S. toy importer tells Fortune it wouldn't work because the cost of workers would double or triple the cost of the product. I'm Jeff Calden.
This is true. One Lord Davidson. Remote work doesn't mean having to stay stuck in a stuffy apartment. Having near me is an app that should find those great working spots near you. It's a database of more than 26,000 cafes and other laptop-friendly public spots throughout your fast Wi-Fi and charging ports. And of course, the scanner